What's good, everybody? Y'all know the vibes, man. Lunchtime with Big Fisk. It's that time of the week again. It's that time of the day again. Got to talk to my fellow Giants brethren. See what's going on in these Giant streets right now. See, I got to check out temperature, man. We got a lot going on right now. I got to check out temperature. See how I got feeling right now. You know what I'm saying? I see how I got feeling right now. What up, Hub? You want to pull up, Hub? I mean, I'll shoot you the link, Hub. You know what I'm saying? I'll shoot you the link, my man. But just be warned. I ain't pulling no punches on my own channel. You know, I'm normally nice to the host on their channel, but you know what I'm saying? You know, we on Fisk unit property right now. We on my property right now, which means I'm liable to say anything. But I'll send you the link though. You know what I'm saying? I'll send you the link. I got you. Hold on a second. You know what I'm saying? If you got some things you want to say, I'll let you pull up. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely got to dig in to this Brian Flores versus the Giants situation. We definitely got to talk about it. Definitely got to talk about it because this is a big deal. I'm not sure if it's going to be a problem. Hopefully not. But I know, Bill. Can I live, Bill? Can it be Fisk unit property, Bill? You got to remind me it's on YouTube. Come on, Bill. Matter of fact, throw your FUs in the chat. I'm not supposed to address nobody who don't throw that FU in the chat. Throw the FU in the chat, hit the like button. Y'all know the vibes. Come in here, bam that FU, hit the like button. Y'all know better, man. What up, Hub?
What's good, man? How you doing? Listen, bro, this is not the first time. You don't got to say it every time I pull up. Gotta give me the same warning message. I know the vibes when it comes over here. I also can handle the vibes.
But this is different. Once I start preaching black power, I get a little carried away. I get sensitive when I preach black power.
Here's the thing, though, right? You can get sensitive. I'm not that sensitive. I understand the situation, right? So it's not like I'm about to take it as an insult or anything if you disagree with me or whatnot, right? Like, I understand that, and I'm sure you understand that as well.
Oh, I feel you. You my boy, though. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes when people get into.
I actually wanted to pop on though before you get Slickbat's super chat here is because I put out a video half hour ago, and I had to give you a shout out because I was thinking about what you said last night when you pulled up to my stream. Which thank you for pulling up to the stream, right? Okay. And I was like, you changed the way that I looked at the Rooney Rule. Because you said, yeah, what you said, I was like, and I feel like my mind was changed towards the end of the stream anyway when you were on there when we were arguing back against Nate. How Nate was like, oh, we got to wait for them to like basically turn good and whatnot. And I was like, that's not happening because of how old they are. And once you get to a certain age, you're not changing the way people think, right? I was like, the Rooney Rule is really the only way some dudes get their foot in the door. It really is. That's what you said. And I was like, listen, it might not be perfect, but what are you going to do? You're going to take it away and then what happens? You know, like what happens if you take it away?
We're completely out the door.
Exactly. So, like, that's why I want to pull up, because I was like, listen, my opinion on the Giants didn't change, because I still feel like the Giants did nothing wrong. I really went through the situation. I even went and I read the actual lawsuit papers, and even they admitted that the Giants contacted Flores the day Joe Judge was fired. He was in direct contact with Mara. Like, we know if John Mara did not take his hands-off approach, which we were all as Giants fans begging for anyway, if Mara didn't take his hands-off approach, I think Flores would have been hired. But he let the new GM do that job, and Daboll was hired. Like, the lawsuit papers literally said Mara has been in contact with Flores since January 11th. That was the day Joe Judge got fired. So he was a legitimate candidate. So my opinion on that doesn't change, but my opinion on the Rooney Rule has shifted.
So what I'm going to say is you got old man Pest in here who left me hanging backstage last night, but I'm going to forgive him. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't important enough to be on Pest's show last night. He big time me last night. But I love him. You know what I'm saying? I love you, Pest.
I always be telling people I'm better than Pest, bro. I'm a better host, but they don't listen.
You are. Because Hub, you know what I'm saying? Hub make me wait 10 minutes too, but at least he let me on. You know what I'm saying? I almost left you hanging dry. I almost left you high and dry last night too, Hub, making me wait 10 minutes while you give your opening soliloquy. But whatever. I'm gonna say this. Let me get to my man Slipback super chat. Slipback says, I seen a lot of Giants people on Twitter saying a lot of stuff that got me feeling a type of way. I blocked several Giants content creators already. And that's the thing, right? If you're black, see Slipback, you feeling that energy I felt last week. See, the Brian Daboll versus Brian Flores, Giants Twitter, Giants content creators and things of that nature really had me as a black man feeling uncomfortable. The way they slandered and smeared Brian Flores' name through the mud because they wanted Brian Daboll, it made me uncomfortable. A lot of the negative news that came out about Brian Flores was pretty much perpetuated by Giants fans and Giants beat writers, content creators, bloggers, whatever you want to call them. A lot of the prominent Giants people were the main ones smearing Brian Flores, and that's what bothered me. So when I go on Twitter and I defend Brian Flores, they tried to make it seem like I wanted him to take the Giants job, which would it have been nice to get him, sure, but I was more so Byron Leftwich. You know what I'm saying? I was more so Byron Leftwich than Brian Flores. My whole point on Brian Flores is y'all are making him seem to be an angry black man that nobody can work with. That's not just going to kill him from getting a Giants job. That's going to kill him from getting any job. You know, a lot of what the Giants people did to Brian Flores made me uncomfortable. It was to the point where if you wanted Brian Flores, you were just a black guy who didn't know nothing. And it's like everybody else who wanted Brian Daboll was smart. They want the offensive guy. They want the guy who's going to, quote unquote, work better with the team. You know what I'm saying? Those undertones that I didn't appreciate. And then you got other Giants content creators talking to me sideways on Twitter, talking about some, I don't know what I'm talking about. And, you know what I'm saying, this has nothing to do with race and everything else. And a week later, this man is suing. Now, I want to know from all those people, them Giants people who were slandering Flores on Twitter, can y'all retract your statements now? Because when Brian Flores says that they paid him $100,000 to lose, or they tried to sucker him into a meeting with Deshaun Watson on a yacht allegedly, everybody says we got to wait for the facts. When it comes to Brian Flores situation, we need to wait for the facts. But when Miami was leaking all these false allegations about Brian Flores last month, nobody wanted to wait for the facts. They ran to Twitter and they buried this man. So
I'm glad you brought up the false allegations, because since last week, I've been telling people on my podcast, since last week when I found out, because we knew since last week these things were false. When we found out that the thing he told Tua was false. And as soon as that came out, people should have realized everything coming out of Miami was not right. As soon as that came out, people should have realized, wait a minute, something ain't right in Miami.
Bro,
they completely fabricated the Tua thing.
They said that Brian Flores, there was Giants people saying we can't hire a coach who didn't talk to his staff for 2 months. How y'all gonna say that man ain't talked to his staff for 2 months? I'm still waiting on somebody to explain that. Oh, wait, the last 7-8 games of the season, he didn't communicate with his coordinators. He didn't talk to the staff and everything. And what I'm trying to say is, where was this energy waiting for the facts last month when y'all was slandering him to get Brian Daboll the job? Now, all of a sudden, when Brian Flores got a lawsuit, everybody want to say, wait a minute, I'm not going to judge the situation. I want to see all the facts. I'm going to hold off on my opinion till I get the facts. Where were the facts that we got painting him as an angry black man a week, 2-3 weeks ago? Where were the facts then? Oh, well, Brian Flores had to get fired for a reason. He's hard to work with. You don't win 9 games to get fired. That was y'all opinion. Why y'all didn't want the facts before the lawsuit? But when he goes back at the white man, the white owner, oh, man, we got to get the facts, man. I'm sure that old man, there's no way he tried to pay him $100,000 for a loss. I'm just saying, like, where's that energy at? Where is it? Why y'all didn't want the facts when y'all was slandering Flores? That's what I want to know. Shout out to Peyton. Peyton says, according to Rooney, you have to interview one outside black candidate before hiring people. So the lawyer on ESPN said the Giants might be in hot water. Did we not interview Leslie Frazier in person before the 24th?
So, bro, he was literally the second person we interviewed, because Shane was hired on that Friday, right? And the very next day we interviewed Daboll and Frazier.
Yeah, but the thing was, it has to be in person. So did we interview Leslie Frazier in person before the 24th? Because if we didn't interview Leslie Frazier in person before the 24th, we screwed. we're screwed. Because those Bill Belichick texts happened on the 24th. So if we didn't interview Leslie Frazier before the 24th, we're screwed. We're screwed. If we didn't have an in-person interview with him before the
Somebody in
24th, we're
chat, yo,
screwed.
somebody in chat, can y'all look that up and pull that
Yeah,
up?
somebody got to verify that for me. Shout out to Slipback. Slipback
Because
says,
we could
I'm the
lose
only...
picks or something, right?
What?
We could lose picks or something, right?
Oh, it's going to get bad. They're going to make an example out of us. But shout out to Slipback. I'm the only black man as a software engineer. All that stuff was about walking on eggshells, being seen as an angry black man. I've been there, so I relate. It was bugging me. That's what I'm saying. Like that angry black man stuff, that cut deep. And I'm not the only black person. That's why I feel comfortable speaking on this, because I know I'm not the only brother that felt like that. The way they tried to paint Brian Flores, this happens in jobs around the country. Listen, I've been raised by two great men. I have a stepfather, I have a real father. They're both very abrasive.
Oh, Fisk, we in trouble. We didn't interview him in person before the 24th, Fraser.
Oh, really? We
That's
didn't
what the
interview
chat is
him
saying.
before the 24th?
That's what the chat is saying.
Oh no. Oh, we're done. Huh. Oh, we're done. If we didn't interview Leslie Frazier before the 24th, we're done. But the point I'm trying to make is, like, I know what it's like to be labeled as the angry black guy because of the way you look. I don't always have a nice face. I don't always smile all the time. And because I'm not smiling, oh, he's angry. He's mad. If I raise my voice, oh my goodness, calm down, relax. You're making me uncomfortable. If I'm walking down the hallway a certain way, why do you have an attitude? Why are you walking that way? It's because I'm the tall black guy. When they try and label Brian Flores a certain way, that cut deep. That cuts real deep. And I felt for Brian Flores. That's why I went on Twitter and I had his back so much, because I'm like, I'm not gonna let them do this brother like this. I'm not gonna let them ruin this man's career like this. That's wrong. And I'm happy he's suing. Shout out to Talking Echo. Remember, supporting Big Fisk is supporting small businesses. I think Flores genuinely cared for Tua. I heard the story 2 years ago about where he said he wasn't playing him because he didn't want his son to play after an injury that Tua suffered, his hip injury. And you know what? Here's the thing too, right? My whole thing with the Flores and Tua situation was this. When it's all said and done, he put Tua in the best offense possible for him to win. Tua and Jalen Waddle was getting it busy. It's not like he failed Tua. We all agree that Tua can't push the ball down the field, right?
Yeah.
So he got the best out of Jalen Waddle and Tua. So the whole fact that he can't build a quarterback and develop a receiver, that's false. Can we all not agree? Can we all agree that the offense they ran to Miami was best suited for Tua's abilities? All the short passes, the swing passes, and things of that nature, was that not built around Tua's ability?
Jalen Waddle for a good amount of time was looking better than Jamar Chase.
Exactly. So I'm trying to understand. It's like y'all say he hate Tua and all this other stuff. I'm like, he did nothing but help Tua. Nothing but help him. And the thing is, now that it's come out that he ran away from a meeting on a yacht with a prominent quarterback, a la Deshaun Watson, what does that say about everybody who said Brian Flores hated Tua? If Brian Flores hated Tua so much, why he didn't have that lunch on the yacht with Deshaun Watson?
Some reports are even saying he had a chance to meet with Brady before Brady went to Tampa Bay, but he stuck with Tua. So,
and that's what I'm saying. So it's like y'all are making it seem like I want people to say sorry. I want all these Giants people, because I'm really just speaking towards the Giants community at this point, because they were the main ones. Because Brian Flores was basically 1A, 1B to Daboll, right? And it was Giants people who was taking every single leak. Every leak that came out of Miami, Giants people leaked it. Giants people leaked every single negative thing about Brian Flores they could. They didn't care what it was. They need to apologize. All that he hates Tua things, all that he's hard to work with, all that crap that Giants people were saying. Come on. Y'all need to start retracting. Y'all need to start retracting, because that was wrong. It was all wrong. And the thing is, right? And this is the question that I want to ask the chat. We 121 deep. I need y'all to hit that like button. I only got 25 likes. There's 121 people in here. Y'all smash that like button. Get these likes up, man. Come on. We need to be at 100 likes by now. We got 125 people in here. We need to be at 100 likes. But my question to y'all is this. Without that Rooney rule, do the Giants interview Pat? Without that Rooney rule, does David Culley get a shot in Houston? Without that Rooney rule, does some random secondary coach named Mike Tomlin get a chance in Pittsburgh? Without that Rooney rule, does Brian Flores even get the Miami job? Without that Rooney rule, is Patrick Graham possibly going to be the next head coach in Minnesota? So at the end of the day, y'all can't say the Rooney rule is stupid. Whoever says the Rooney rule is stupid is basically saying, who cares about these black candidates? We need to hire who we want to hire. And if a black candidate gets an opportunity, he gets an opportunity. If he doesn't, so be it. That Rooney rule is there to give black men an opportunity to get interview experience and have an opportunity to sit down with rich white men that wouldn't give them the time of day any other way. When you're a black man in this country, you got to take what's given to you. You're going to get the short end of the stick more times than not. You know how many black men in this country know that they get the short end of the stick when they take a managerial position? You know how many black men in this country got to take the worst managerial spot? You know how many black men in this country got to go to the worst store in their district and manage that store and turn it out to be something? You know how many black men get put in situations where they know they can't win, but they got to take it because they won't get another opportunity? The black man is used to working from a disadvantage. The black man knows anytime he gets a position of power in this white community, he has to work harder than the next guy. We are fully aware of that. When you wake up every day and you a black man, you know you got to do better than the next man, or else you're not gonna have your job no more. Being black is a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Being white is a privilege. It's different. So for everybody who says, oh, the Rooney rule is a sympathy rule, it's a stupid rule, why would you want to get an interview out of sympathy, or why would you want to take a handout? Because that's the only way black men get an opportunity in this country sometimes. And that's the cold-blooded truth. So if a black man has to go through a sham interview and try his luck to impress one of these owners, so be it. That's the opportunity we're given. That's the opportunity we're going to take. And that's the opportunity we're going to make the best of. I get offended when people say the Rooney rule needs to go. Without that Rooney rule, how many black coaches do you think are going to get a chance going forward? How many? We need that Rooney rule. We need our opportunities to get in front of these white men. And that's just the facts. And there's also been this perception on social media, or somebody, I'm not going to say his name, shout out to him, who says that the black coach is going to develop the same way the black quarterback did. No, it's not. It's two different things. The black quarterback he plays for the white man. The coach works with the white man. That's different. That plantation mentality is real. If you're a rich owner in your skybox, you don't mind the black man on the field throwing touchdowns. You're separated from him. But when you're in that owner's box and you're having lunch and you're in those boardrooms, you want somebody who looks like you and speaks your language. You don't want a black man in that owner's room. You don't want a black man in that box with you, because then you have to work with the black man. And then you have to watch that black man potentially hire other people that look like him. And one day you're going to be that rich white man. You're going to come to work and you're going to see more black men in your office than white men, and you're going to feel uncomfortable. So there's a big difference between a black man getting an opportunity to work with a white man or work for him. That black quarterback, he works for the white man. That white coach, that white general manager, they work with that white owner. It's a difference. So when you sit back and say, one day the black quarterback, the black head coach is going to be like the black quarterback. No, it's not. It's different. It's just different. You have to separate this from football and put it in reality. The reality of America, the reality of the situation is the black man, the man of color, is not given the same opportunity as the white man. And we need to come to grips with that. And we need to make the best of it. And that means keeping the Rooney rule. And if anything, applying more pressure to the Rooney rule. What was you saying, Hub?
I was like, to add on to that, we have a recent example with the Texans owner back in 2017 or 2018, where he literally said, and this is proving that difference, which I 100% agree with, is different being a player and being a coach in the NFL, specifically a head coach that has a lot of control over things. That man literally said you can't have the prisoners running the prison yard.
Basically, yeah, you can't have the prison. You can't let the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah,
That's what the late owner, what's his name, Bob McNair, whatever the owner of the Texans was.
yeah.
Those are his comments.
And I was saying on my podcast last night to everybody on the panel in the chat, I was like, people seem to forget how old these NFL owners are. They're like 60, 70, sometimes 80 and 90 years old. They were there when Jim Crow was still a thing. And so, you when you get to a certain point in adulthood, I've noticed this in a lot of old people. This is just across all races. It's hard to change the way they think, and you got to remember that it's hard. It's gonna You don't change the way these old white owners are gonna think. That's not gonna happen anytime soon.
And shout out to Michael Pinkney. Michael Pinkney says facts. Should just hire Flores from jump. Tired of the double standards for black people. Exactly. Lovey Smith went 10-6 and got fired. This man Brian Flores was 9-8 and got fired. When's the last time a white coach not named Marty Schottenheimer had a winning season and just got fired? They gave that man Steve Wilkes 1 year in Arizona and fired him. How come my man Steve Wilkes ain't get a chance to coach Kyler Murray? How come David Culley ain't gonna get a chance to coach that top 3 quarterback they gonna take in April? I'll wait. Somebody got to explain this.
And I'm glad you brought up David Culley. That was something else I brought up in my video today as well. I was like, if they really want to hit the NFL hard, they should contact David Culley, get that man in on the case, because he has the best case to make, I think, out of anybody. Nobody expected him to win anything when he got there. He went over and did what is, in my opinion, one of the best coaching jobs of the past decade, but people won't recognize it as that because it was for a losing and trash organization in Houston. But that was a team that was supposed to go with like 0 wins, 1 win, won 4 games. There was games where they were putting up 40 points with a guy named Davis Mills, and he made Davis Mills look good. Him and Pep Hamilton. Pep Hamilton, by the way, black offensive coordinator, who I hope the Giants get. He's a coordinator finalist, but that man did such a good job over there, and for no reason lost his job as well. If they want to make a like an actual stance, they should probably contact him.
Agreed. Shout out to Corey Lewis. NFL created more black millionaires than anybody. And that's the thing, right? So it's like when it comes to statements like that, it's called like, how do I say this? Does anybody complain what the CEO of Walmart makes? Does anybody ever talk about what the CEO of Starbucks makes? So when you say the NFL created more black millionaires than anybody, well, I'm sorry, but if you could throw a ball like Patrick Mahomes, you deserve your millions. If you could run routes and catch balls like Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams, you deserve your millions. When you're qualified to do your job, nobody should complain about your pay. You feel me? And I just think we have to really sit back and think about why we're here today. You know why? And real quick, somebody has said, yo, shout out to Eli Rex. I'm not going to judge any black YouTube content creator who doesn't want to burn bridges or who doesn't feel comfortable speaking on the situations. I'm not going to judge any black man who doesn't want to take the route I'm taking. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my lane. Saying what I want, when I want, how I want, that's what I do. And I've already been blackballed by half these Giants content creators anyway, so I ain't got nothing to lose. Because at the end of the day, I'm a black man's black man. And they deem me toxic. And that's fine. I'm cool with that. A year ago, I wasn't, but now I am. But back to my point. You know, what you have to understand is, do you really think that as a community, if they didn't force blacks and whites to go to school together 60 years ago, do you think we'd be where we are today? If they didn't force black and whites to work together 60, 70 years ago, do you think we would be where we are today? Y'all remember a thing called segregation, right? Y'all remember that thing, right? Y'all remember segregation? You remember the colored water fountains? Remember the colored grocery stores and things of that nature? Remember when the government said you can't do that anymore? And they made the blacks and whites ride the school bus together. They made the blacks and whites work at the mechanic shop together. It's called integration. And guess what? 60, 50, 60 years later, does anybody remember people in Boston stabbing black men with the American flag? Do people remember the whites refusing to go to work and the whites refusing to go to school because they didn't want to be around a colored man? Does anybody remember those things nowadays? No. All we look at now is equality. Now we have George Floyd riots where white people and black people stand together. You know why that happened? Because the government forced the whites and the blacks to congregate together. And eventually the whites and blacks said, you know what, we not too different. You know, I know you're a black man, but you know what, you not that bad. And the black man says, you know what, as a white man, you not as evil as the other ones. And eventually we learn to get along together. And that's why us black people and white people can go to the same store and stand in the same line and not get into a fight. So what is Big Fish trying to say during this history lesson? What I'm trying to explain to y'all is maybe the best way to get more black men in a position of power in the NFL is to force them in there. Give them positions of power so they can bring in their own black coaches and create their own black coaching tree. Force them in the door, make them feel uncomfortable for a couple of years. In 10, 20, 30 years from now, nobody's going to remember that you had to force black head coaches into job positions in order to make it normal. It'll just be normal. History is written by the winners. It's never written by the losers. So when something goes right, nobody cares about the measures or the means you had to take to get it done. It's as simple as that. Why do you think these dictators do the things they do? Why do you think we bombed Japan twice? Nobody cares about the means we had to use to win that war. We won that war. Nobody cares about how you get it done. All that matters is that you get it done. It is as simple as that. Will people be mad today? Sure. Will people be mad next week? Sure. But a couple years from now, it'll be normal. And you know what people are going to say? Maybe that was a good idea. I'm happy that happened because now we're in a better place. Like I said in my video today on my other channel, in order to be comfortable later, people, we must be uncomfortable now. We must sacrifice in order to get better. If everybody wants to remain comfortable and do the same things, we're just circling the wagons. We're dog chasing our tail. We're never going to get anywhere. Without war, there is no peace. You understand? Now, shout out to my man Slickback. Slickback says, the NBA has actually created far more millionaires, Corey. Yeah. Well, I guess Slickback, but the thing is, because the NFL has 53 players on the roster, the NBA only has, I think, 15 players on the roster. I think it's more of a situation where he says there's more black millionaires in the NFL just due to the size of the roster. I think that's what that comes down to. But it's the same thing. A millionaire is a millionaire is a millionaire is a millionaire. You feel me? So it's one of the, I just hope one day things will change. But unfortunately, there's not enough people in a position of power to do what's necessary. There's not enough people in a position of power to get uncomfortable. There's not enough people in a position of power who are willing to do that. So sadly, I don't know when change is gonna come.
Here's the thing now, right? So the Broncos are up for sale. And if the NFL actually wants to do something right, the Dolphins should be up for sale by the end of the month because Stephen Ross should be forced to sell his team after all the things that was exposed about him came out. And isn't this adding on to the fact, didn't the Dolphins have a cocaine incident a couple years ago too? Like there's a lot of bad things on the owner of the Dolphins right now, right? So 2 franchises will be up for sale somehow, some way, and it brings up the question: is it a good old boys club in terms of NFL owners where they're just straight up preventing blacks and minorities from becoming owners? Or is it that blacks and minorities are just not participating to become owners.
Well,
But
Puff Daddy,
you have two, you have one and potentially two like franchises that are going to be up for sale, right? And there's more millionaires and billionaires that are black out there than the ones we know of. You know, like there's billionaires that people don't even know about. So I'm sure there's black billionaires out there that we don't even know about that could come in and buy. But it becomes like, are they blocking them or what's happening?
well, to answer your question, first of all, hit that like button. We 170 deep, and I need 30 more likes to get to 100. Everybody, I implore you to smash that like button. Help your boys' analytics out. As far as the ownership in the NFL goes, Puffy tried to buy the Panthers when they kicked out what was his name, Jerry Richardson, over Jerry Richardson got me too'd in Carolina over the
Mm-hmm.
sexual assault accusations. When they me too'd Jerry Richardson, they didn't sell it to Puff Daddy. They chose whoever that guy was from Pittsburgh. He was a minority owner with the Steelers, and they gave him the job, and they gave him the team in Carolina because it's a private. The NFL is a private organization, which means they have the right to pick and choose how they who works for them and who owns their teams. They don't actually have to do the Rooney Rule. They don't have to follow any federal laws as far as incorporating certain minority classes. Why do you think Washington was able to keep that name, the Redskins, for so many years? Because he didn't have to change it. He changed it because Twitter and social media and
No, he
public.
changed it because FedEx started hitting his pockets. FedEx was about to pull their
Exactly.
sponsorship.
Exactly. So once the FedEx started hitting his pockets and things like that, he changed it.
See, now I
But the,
want this to happen right here, Slickback. That's what I'm saying. There's gonna be opportunities coming up where we need to see. Because I said this last night. I think it starts from getting black owners, and then you're gonna see actual change.
exactly. In order to, and here's the thing too, right? In order to affect the NFL, you got to hit their pockets. It's hard to hit. Yo, when you make it like a couple billion a year, how much does the NFL make last year? Well, like $7-8 billion or something
I
like
thought
that.
it was 100 billion or something crazy like that.
It's hard to hit those pockets, man. It's hard. You got to hit them where you it's hard to, they're pretty much untouchable. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Shout out to Slit that Robert Smith, black dude, is trying to buy the Broncos. We'll see. I mean, we'll see, man. I would love to see a black owner in the NFL, but that's a tall mountain to climb, man. Jerry Jones gotta agree with you. You feel me? Jerry Jones is gonna have to agree with you. Um, the Robert Krafts and everything, they're all gonna have to agree to let you in. You can be worth $1 trillion. They didn't let Trump in. Remember, Donald Trump wanted to buy the Bills. They wouldn't let Donald Trump buy the team because they didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Donald Trump went so hard at the NFL when he became president? Because they blocked him from buying the team. They wouldn't let him in the good old boys club. And Trump got offended. Those owners pick and choose who they want to let in their billionaire boy club. So it's like, a black man can have Jeff Bezos money. They don't mean they're gonna let him buy the team. It's not going to the highest bidder. It's going to whoever they want in their billionaire boy club. And that's the fact. Remember, they're not selling these teams to the highest bidder. A black man could offer $7 million for the Broncos and get turned down. But one of them good old boys, he could offer $2 million for the Broncos and they'll put him in before they put the black man in. That's just how it works. They are privately owned organization, and quite frankly, they could pretty much do what they want to. Remember when Tom Brady tried to sue the NFL? He lost.
Hold up, I'm gonna
He
be right
lost.
back. I gotta carry my plate.
Facts. He lost because the NFL is a private owned organization that can do what they want to do. So it is what it is. It is what it is. If you want black people in positions of power, it's gonna have to be taken by force. You're gonna have to force these black men to get in the room with these white owners. You're gonna have to force them in. It's not gonna be done by choice. I've never seen power relinquished by choice. As far as I've never seen power just relinquished by choice. Power is taken. It's not given. Nobody gives away power. You gotta take power. Shout out to Terrell Young. See, Hugh Jackson claimed the same thing. Yeah, Hugh Jackson claimed the same thing, right? Because it's true. It's true. And you can expect more black coaches to join his lawsuit. I think Brian Flores said lawyer said it could be up to 40 minority coaches joining his lawsuit. So this is only gonna get uglier. It's only gonna get deeper. And make sure y'all hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and hit that like button, man. Shout out to Slipback. It comes down to the players forcing his hand. The NBA players, the NBA players union's got the neck on the NBA owner. The NFL players union got to step up and pressure them. Now that's a fact. But you got to understand, in the NBA, all right, here's how I'm gonna break this down, right? Yo, who is this dude talking spicy? All right, first and last warning, we're gonna put you on timeout. I don't know who he is talking spicy. You going in
Alright,
time.
I'm back. Who was talking spicy?
Some dude named Bangkok basketball out here calling black people weak and victims and everything. That's that Emmett Till energy right there. That's his first and last warning. He popped up back in here talking spicy. Y'all can block him. But the NBA, there's no LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Giannis black figure in the NFL. In the NBA, when LeBron James says they're gonna do something, they're gonna do it. There's no Kyrie Irvings in the NFL. They don't have that kind of power. There's no individual black player that has the power of the NBA players. The NBA is a 12-man roster. It might be 15. I don't know. The NBA is between 12 and 15 players. So when LeBron can gather up what 10 times 30, what is that, like 300 players? LeBron can say, look, this is what we gonna do. And they're gonna stand in unison. The NFL Players Association can't even agree on how many padded practices they're going to have in the next CBA. You think they're going to get a couple thousand players to stand in unison to get one thing done? There's no player in the NFL powerful enough to do that. And all the black players that speak on these matters aren't quarterbacks. They're Richard Sherman. They're Malcolm Jenkins. They're not the quarterbacks. They're like safeties and corners and like linebackers and stuff like that. They're not the quarterback. They're not the most important position on the field. So the owner's really not going to care. Think an owner cares what Richard Sherman got to say? You think an owner cares what Malcolm Jenkins got to say? It's a completely ball game. It's a different ball game, Slipback. It's a different ball game. Now, maybe if Richard Sherman or Malcolm Jenkins, just using them as an example, maybe if they played quarterback and they were Patrick Mahomes level and they were Deshaun Watson level, maybe they could spark some stuff. But for the most part, I don't know an NFL player powerful enough to say we not playing and everybody else fall in line. When LeBron James and Giannis and them boys said we not playing, they fell in line. Every other NBA player said, well, I guess we're not playing. Name the NFL player powerful enough to do that. There just isn't. I can't think of one. Shout out to Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar says, apparently now there are about 30 to 40 former coaches now who are signing up on with Flores. Also, players now, 20 former Dolphins signing on too. And that's what I'm saying. This is only going to get worse. This is only going to get worse. This is a big deal. This ain't going away. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is not going away. This is going to be a story for a minute. And the thing is, the Giants, what did they say, Hub? They said the Giants interviewed Leslie Frazier after the 24th?
And the in-person one, yeah.
So the in-person one happened after the 24th, right? Can somebody give me a specific date to when the Leslie Frazier interview happened?
The
I need a
in-person one
specific
was on
date.
the 28th.
So his, so Brian, so Leslie Frazier's in-person interview was on the 28th, correct?
Yeah.
Brian Flores got that text message from Bill Belichick on the 24th, correct?
Yeah.
So we violated the Rooney Rule. We violated it. If hypothetically speaking, if the federal government did, because the federal government's already investigating Washington, if the federal government decides to get petty with the NFL and drag this Brian Flores case into the situation and subpoena Bill Belichick, so where he has to tell the truth, oh, you know it's a wrap, right? The Giants are gonna burn for that.
So here's what it would depend on. They'd have to find a way. They'd have to get to Belichick and then have to find who Belichick heard that from. If it connects directly back to the Giants and not to some reporter or something, then they're done. But if it connects back to a reporter or something, the Giants still have a way out. It has to connect directly
Could
back
you
to the
imagine
organization.
Belichick privately talking to a reporter?
Um,
Like, come on, man.
I wouldn't dismiss it, but the first sure way that the Giants are done is if it literally connects back to Tim McDonald or to Mara or
I'm gonna do
Mara's
you one
brother
better,
or
Hub.
something like that.
I'm gonna do you one better, Hub. You know who I think told him that?
Who?
John Mara himself. Because
That's what I'm
John
saying.
Mara,
If it
I
connects
think he
back
told
to
him that personally.
Mara, then it's done. It's
Because
done.
remember, Brian Daboll's he worked with Belichick for years. He has what, 2 or 3 Super Bowls from the Patriots.
Hmm.
If John Mara called Belichick to get his blessing on Judge, you don't think he called Belichick to get his blessing on Daboll? I mean, I'm just saying. He probably left that phone call with Belichick and said, "Okay, Bill, I take your word for it. I like Judge. I know Judge didn't work out, but I like Judge. I take your word for it. I'm gonna give Brian Daboll a chance, but we got to finish out the Rooney Rule, whatever. But Brian Daboll's the guy."
So
Why
here's
else
the
would
thing,
Belichick?
because I see Frank talking about. So Frank, yes, technically in the chat it doesn't violate the Rooney Rule, but what it does is it fulfills everything that the lawsuit is saying they did.
No, it does violate the Rooney Rule because it has to be in person. It can't be over Zoom.
No. It doesn't violate. Okay, so here's the thing. It doesn't violate the Rooney Rule because at the end of the day, they still did the in-person interview. What it does do though is that it proves that they had a head coach decision made before they interviewed that guy.
which
Like they
technically
unofficially
violates.
decided on a head coach.
Yeah, which technically in spirit violates the rule.
Yeah, in spirit, that's what I'm saying. But if we talking about in law terms, nah, it doesn't. But what it does do for their lawsuit is that it supports their lawsuit 100%. That's why I'm like, if they could connect Belichick to, God forbid if it's Mara, but somebody that works for the Giants organization, it is a wrap. It's over.
And shout out to Slipback. He says, by the way, Verizon just confirmed the text the real. Oh God. You are aware that if the FBI, like hypothetically, if the FBI got involved and they subpoenaed the NFL, they're gonna get that information the same way they got those emails. Saying, you know how the FBI got those emails? If the FBI is investigating the NFL as we speak, right? Don't they got like 100,000 emails out of that Washington camp? Could you imagine if the FBI subpoenaed them for those text messages? God, oh my gosh. Whew. Rome will fall. Rome will fall. Rome. And when I mean Rome, I mean the NFL Manhattan offices will burn. Because trust me, the FBI don't miss. The FBI don't miss.
They don't miss. But whatever happened when we got those hundreds of emails out of Washington? Like,
they have
that dude
them.
is still dude. He's still there.
They have them. Because they're still
what I'm saying is, what was the consequences of that though? Because the dudes in Washington are still there.
Oh no! That's because the dudes in Washington are still being investigated. They fired John Gruden. That was personal. They scapegoated Gruden. They scapegoated him, and that's why he's suing right now. Because they scapegoated him. That's why John Gruden is actually suing the NFL to have those emails released. Remember that. So the NFL,
the emails are released. I'm not denying what you're saying because the FBI
no.
they always get the information.
No, they took like 100,000 emails.
Yeah.
So John Gruden wants all of those to be public.
I'm waiting for the consequences to happen before I'm about to say the FBI is about to get something done.
Oh
Because
no
I
no
need
no
to.
no! The FBI gonna take their time. Oh, they're gonna nail Dan. They're gonna nail Daniel Snyder to the freaking cross. They're gonna. That's what the FBI does. Why do you think they have hundreds and thousands of hours of mafia of criminal wiretaps? They could get
Fist.
those criminals with an hour. Look, bro.
All I'm
All they,
saying is, for me to trust them to actually do something about this situation, I need to see them finish a situation that they began like
oh,
two
no, I get
years
what you're
ago.
saying. No, I'm still talking
Yeah,
hypothetical. The FBI is not investigating Brian Flores. I'm talking hypothetically.
yeah.
What I'm saying is the FBI, they take their time. The FBI can get half of these criminals with 10 minutes of a wiretap, but they still investigate you for years and get you on hundreds and thousands of hours of wiretaps. They
Mhm.
want you to bury yourself deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. That's how the
Mhm.
FBI gets you. So when they come knock on that door and they put you in them cuffs, there's no way out. No way out. You can't run from the FBI. They worse than the IRS. Shout out to Slipback. Slipback says in the New York Times, they just wrote an article where John Mara's grandfather colluded with other owners to block black players from joining the NFL in the 40s. Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Well, I mean, yeah. Listen, you're talking about. I'm not surprised by that. And Fisk, I don't know how you feel, but I don't think John Mara is personally racist. But you're talking about a 70-year-old dude. His grandfather, add like 140 years to that. Of course, that would make sense. That man was probably around when the Civil War was happening. I was telling y'all, these owners are old. They're old. You shouldn't be surprised by something like that.
Nah,
But I
yeah,
don't. But
but
I
that's
don't think John
bad
Mara.
though.
I don't think John Mara is racist though.
No, but my thing is like, if the New York Times published that, it's probably true. They wouldn't just do that out of thin air. Ooh, no. Ooh, that's not that's not good. That's a bad look right now. And that's just the beginning. You see, here's my worst fear for the Giants. All right, here's my worst fear for the Giants. There's currently over 100,000 emails between the FBI and the NFL front office, right? There's like 100,000 emails out there, private emails from the John Maras, the Snyders, and all these powerful men, right? What if somebody just wants to bury John Mara and some emails leak out? Whether it could be about Colin Kaepernick, it could be about Black Lives Matter, it could be about a secretary he had relations with. Anything. What if one of those emails was to mysteriously leak out to Adam Schefter?
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. If somebody
Yeah,
wants to bury him for whatever reason, then yeah.
it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get real ugly. Shout out to Slipback. Watch John Gruden play dirty and start leaking stuff. He might come to Flores and be like, "Yo, I heard John Mara said this. This about to get bad." No, it's gonna get real bad. And I'm telling you, you don't think John Gruden, in order to restore his reputation, wouldn't want to join forces with Brian Flores? What are you nuts? They just called they tried to label John Gruden as the biggest racist coach in America. You don't think John Gruden would try to join up with Flores and they really go in deep on the NFL? All the racist emails they probably got in the NFL right now. Did you imagine if John Gruden and Brian Flores combine forces? Oh my goodness, Rome will burn. Rome would burn. I don't think y'all get how big of a deal this is. It's bigger than the Giants. It's bigger than that. The NFL got a problem right now. They got a big problem, and I don't think they can run from this. And to be honest with you, if John Gruden and Brian Flores just want to see them burn, they won't take a plea deal. They won't be paid off. And then, quite frankly, with you, Brian Flores and these black coaches, they can't take a plea deal. They got to go all the way because they want to inspire change. If they take the money, they're going to look weak and they're going to look silenced. So Brian Flores and these other guys, they can't take a settlement. They have to they change new rules and new regulations have to be put in place in order for this lawsuit to be successful. It's bigger than the money. They're going to look weak if they just take money and shut up. They're going to look weak. They can't do that. Shut out the Iorki. Remember, supporting Big Fisk is supporting small businesses. I'm a white man, but if Flores' statements are true, he's right, especially the Miami owner claim. Imagine the mafia made the same offers. Also, Giants are not racist, but they effed up the process. Exactly. They horribly messed this up. The Giants could have done better. It's no secret they wanted Brian Daboll, but at least
Now,
follow the
Fizz, here's
protocol.
here's something else, right? Because when I was saying this on my podcast last week, both Just Chillin' and Young Guns, I got flack from the chat. I wasn't saying it about the head coaching situation, but here's how it could get worse. Because last week, I was saying the Giants are making a mistake with how they're running the offensive coordinator search, and I really think they made a mistake with how they ran the GM search. Because it was the same thing, right? Everybody knew they wanted Joe Shane. Everybody knew that they wanted Joe Shane. That ESPN thing came out a week before we hired Joe Shane, a week before we interviewed anybody else. That ESPN transactions page said that we were hiring Joe Shane. So if anybody wants to look into that as well, this lawsuit, it could get worse there in terms of messing up the process. And then with the offensive coordinator position, up until Ken Dorsey, went back to Buffalo, I thought the same thing was going to happen. I was
Yep.
like, everybody knows they want Ken Dorsey, and I feel like they're going to do sham interviews. Now, here's the thing. I brought it up last week. Everybody turned it down. This thing's coming up now, and if this is a really good lawyer, they're probably going to bring up at least the GM thing because Dorsey's already back, so you can't really argue that, we messed up there. But I do think the head coach and GM search, I agree with this super chat a lot. The Giants aren't racist, but they horribly messed up both of the processes, and people need to realize that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? What Eorky's trying to say is if it was found out that the mafia was offering Brian Flores $100,000 to tank games, they'd be in jail for racketeering right now. The Miami Stephen Ross was offering to pay Brian Flores $100,000 a week, basically, because he played once a week. So he was basically offering him $100,000 a week to tank games. Isn't the NFL in bed right now with MGM Grand and FanDuel and DraftKings?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine? First of all, forget selling the team. That's the FBI right there. If the FBI wanted to investigate that, Stephen Ross going to jail. They're going to take him down like they did John Gotti. He's going to be labeled a racketeer. He's going to be labeled fixing games. That's Arnold Rothstein stuff right there. Remember the 1920s Black Sox? That's Arnold Rothstein level stuff right there. Remember the referee Tim Donaghy in the NBA? Did he do like 7 years? They threw Tim Donaghy in jail for fixing NBA games. What you think they're going to do to Stephen Ross, a billionaire, offering to pay off a coach to tank games? What? Come on, bro. If a mafia member here did that, he'd be in jail right now. And that's facts. Shout out to Eorky. I'm glad he brought that up because that's a whole fact. Shout out to Platano. Shout out to 203, man. 203 says Flores got a Greek lawyer with a herp on his lip. Oh my gosh. Giants gonna be alright. Yo, he's stupid. Yo, shout out to 203.
I mean, he's saying it as a joke, but all this comes down to how good are the people that he hired.
Oh, please, he's got the best. Oh, come on, bro. He's what? Please. You going after the NFL? The best. First of all, Brian Flores ain't broke. It's a multi-millionaire right here. Brian Flores ain't broke. But shout out to Terrell Young. Snyder might get away with it DC because he know people. Nah, not from the FBI, bro. He can get away with it from the NFL, Terrell, but the FBI are investigating Washington. The FBI don't care, bro. You know what the FBI cares about? Conviction rates. That's all they care about. You think the FBI really care who Dan Snyder is? They eat billionaires for breakfast. Come on, bro. It's the FBI, man. They don't care who he is. The NFL might care who Daniel Snyder is. FBI don't care. That man, please. That prosecutor will make an example out of him. He better hope ain't nobody trying to run for mayor. He better hope one of them district attorneys ain't trying to get a promotion, or they gonna burn him to the cross. Please. Please. The feds don't care. But who said somebody has said something? So Brian Flores, you gotta understand, right? When Brian Flores decides to sue the NFL, he gets the best lawyers. First of all, Brian Flores is a millionaire. That's number one. Number two, you know how many law firms want to take down the NFL? You know the best law firms in all of the country are gonna be the ones who contact Flores about this. Please, please, please. He got the best lawyers. He got the best lawyers money can buy. No, because they know they're gonna be on retainer. All the hours they gotta put into this, and don't the Players Association kind of gotta back him on this? I could be wrong, but don't the Players Association kind of gotta back Flores on this? Please. He's got the best lawyers. He's got the best lawyers what he can buy, man. Oof. And I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see them squirm. I love when Roger Goodell and them owners start squirming. I love it. I love seeing the rich and powerful get nervous. I love it. I can't wait because it's only going to get ugly. I can't wait for John Gruden to get involved. Bro, I'm buying a John Gruden. I will buy a portrait of John Gruden and hang it in my office if he joins that lawsuit with Brian Flores. If they were to combine forces and they somehow get the NFL to make those emails public, let's really see how John Mara feel about certain issues. I want to see those emails, man. You mean to tell me Daniel Snyder and John Mara ain't been emailing each other? Ooh, I'll pay money to see that. I'll pay good money to see that, man. That's what's really good. That's what we really want to see. What John Mara's saying behind closed doors. That's what we really want to know. You know what I'm saying? That's what we really want to know. Hey, yo, where did Pest and Eli Rax go, bro? Where'd they go? One Pest and Eli Rax in my comment section when this thing started.
In the chat or not?
Are they still in the chat? I don't even know if they still here, bro. They've been quiet. They've been so quiet.
It's a great question. I don't know.
Yo, where's Pest and where's Eli Rax at? They was here like the first 4 minutes of the stream, and I ain't heard from them since. I might be getting toxic, bro.
Let me see if they still here.
Hey, yo, I might be getting toxic. Hey, yo, Hub, man. You sure you want to be around Big Fist right now?
Pest ain't here, and then I think they tuned. I know Vibes is at work because Vibes work for the MTA. I mean, bro, I've been here the entire time, and you really about to ask me if I still want to be here? Like,
yeah, good point. I'm definitely.
You gotta ask that.
Hey, yo, I'm definitely that dude. You commit a crime. I'm definitely that dude who actually, if you still want to do this after we catch the body.
Listen, I'm definitely that dude. I feel like by now you know where I stand, though. I'm with you.
Oh, no, I feel you, man. But sometimes I just need that confirmation. I need validation.
And real quick, right? Because I've been seeing it in the chat from multiple people. So there's a difference between what people are saying in the chat, which is you giving the job to an unqualified black man, and what's actually happening, and that is the job is overlooking qualified black men. Like, I don't know why there's that disconnect between what is actually happening and what people are perceiving to happen. The people that are being overlooked are qualified. Brian Flores is qualified. David Culley is more qualified than Josh McCown, who they looking at for the Texans job right now.
Don't even get me started on Josh McCown. Ooh, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't get me started on Josh McCown. Shout out to Mike. Mike says
this. Hey, Ash in here though, I think, right?
Ash Money, what up, man? You know, Ash Money always got the link if he wanted. Ash Money know how to get in touch with me, man. Shout out to Ash Money. Mike says this will be under the rug in a week. NFL will add a bigger end racism sticker in the end zone to pretend they care. Let's move on to the draft. Please. Nah, they ain't getting rid of this one. Nah, they ain't getting rid of this one. Nah, listen, if this was week 1 of the NFL season, you're right. If this was like week 1 of the NFL season, you're right. They might have been able to pull this off.
The off season just started. It's gonna run for a minute.
Thank you. This is the off season. ESPN and CBS and all these news stations, they're gonna run with this all season long. This is only gonna get worse. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Draft ain't till April, bro.
And another thing, I'm seeing people kind of mistaken what Fisk and me are even saying up here. We're not even arguing about the Giants situation anymore. Like, we literally said it. The Giants messed up the way they went about it. That's what it is. And that's why his lawsuit becomes so much more serious now. because they
Oh, the
did mess
Giants are
up the
killing
way
me.
they went
Yeah,
about it,
we're screwed. It's just a matter of how
right?
much we're gonna get penalized. The Giants are screwed.
Exactly.
Now that we know they didn't do the in-person interview with Leslie Frazier to the 28th, oh, we screwed. Yeah, we're screwed. Shout out to Bob Jones. What really disturbed me was Giants fans on Twitter saying he just ruined his career. Yeah, bro, that makes him more admirable in my opinion. Exactly. Brian Flores, they turned him into a martyr. That's what they did. The same thing with Colin Kaepernick. They turned him into a martyr. That's really what they did. A New Jersey Justin. The reason why the Giants are screwed is because in order to satisfy the Rooney Rule, you have to do an in-person. You have to interview a black candidate in person from outside the organization. They did a Zoom interview with Leslie Frazier. The Belichick text messages happened on the 24th. Belichick's text messages happened on the 24th. They didn't do the in-person interview with Leslie Frazier until the 28th. So
So
it's
here,
being
here's the thing as well, right? If you go and you read what they're actually suing for, they're not suing they
that they
violated
didn't
the Rooney
follow.
Rule.
Yeah, it was a shame.
They're suing that they use these guys as just what you would call it as just
It
sham
was
interviews to check the
they
box,
abused it. They,
the
yeah,
interview
what I think
the
it was
Rooney Rule, right?
abusing the Rooney Rule or something like
Or
that.
something like that, right? So yes, technically, yeah, they fulfilled the Rooney Rule because they actually did get the in-person interview before they officially announced the head coach. What's really biting the Giants in the ass right now are those texts. Those texts are dated the 24th when Belichick was saying that Brian Daboll is the head coach. Leslie Frazier's in-person interview didn't come until the 28th. So that means if Belichick got this from somebody close to the Giants, which I was saying earlier, we're screwed. Because that means on the 24th, before both Leslie Frazier and Brian Daboll's in-person interview, there was a decision made. That's where the Giants messed up.
Hey, yo, real quick. Hey, AB, the Disney worth more money than the NFL, bro. Good luck with that. Remember, Disney runs ESPN, bro. Disney got more money than the NFL. You know who makes your Marvel movies? That's Disney.
Disney
Like,
got
quit
the
playing
biggest
with me.
monopoly in the league right now. Nobody's shutting down Disney.
Exactly. Disney low key might run everything, bro. I'm telling you, like you can't. You'd have to get
Do you
Jeff
know?
Bezos.
I don't know
Just
if you
to
follow
run ESPN.
gaming news like that, Fizz, but you know how Xbox just spent 70 billion on Activision and Blizzard, and
Yeah.
then PlayStation bought Bungie. The reason there's all these purchases going on between Xbox and PlayStation is for them to keep it away from Disney, so Disney doesn't get involved in video games as well.
Oh yeah. God help us. We only need Disney running that too. But shout out to John. Shout out to John. John says, eliminate the Rooney Rule. Problem solved. Earn this job through merit and skills. I mean, that's good if you're a white man, John. I mean, if you're a white man, that works. But if you're a black man, that don't do me no good. You think John Merritt gonna talk interview a black man if he ain't got to? Like, come on, man. You can't take away the Rooney Rule. None of these black candidates would get a chance. They wouldn't get a chance. They get no chance without that Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule has to be in place in order for the black man to get a resemblance of a fair opportunity. It is what it is. It just is what it is. And it's like, like I said, when the country was segregated, right? When we had the colored water fountains and stuff like that, could you imagine if the president said, well, you gotta have at least one black classroom integrate with the white classroom? We still be segregated to this day. The only reason why we're not segregated to this day is because they made us work together. They made us live together. They made us learn together. In order to extract change, you have to force change. Power is taken. It's not given. This you can't. There's no two ways around it. This is how the world works. It's bigger than the NFL. This is how the world works. It just is. Shout out to Where You Hiding. What up, Where You Hiding? It looked like the Eagles and the Cowboys just chilling, right? Giants and Washington it just caught up in it with the FBI lawsuits. The Commanders. They're not the Washington team no more. They're the Commanders. So
That's
the
hilarious,
Giants,
by the way.
the Giants and the Commanders.
Bro, listen, first of all, just a quick thing on the Washington thing. Every single Washington fan I spoke to hates the name, and we know it was going to be the Commanders for about a solid month now. Washington really should have. There was actually a cool name available, and the fans, like Washington fans, wanted that name, and it was like the Red Wolves or something. But they used the lame excuse of, oh, there's some minor league soccer team named Red Wolves as well, and I'm like, yo, y'all took the AAF Commander's name, bro. Like, come on, stop with that excuse.
The Commanders. Oh my gosh! But shout out to where you hiding. It's the excuse of why Miami fired him is a lame alibi. You know you tried to blackball him. Flores has nothing to lose. Go Flores. That's what I'm saying. We team Flores over here. And all it is that you know what's gonna make it worse? All it takes is one LeBron tweet, one tweet from President Obama. All it takes is for a couple more powerful black men to start co-signing Brian Flores, and it's really a wrap for the NFL. That's all it takes. And because that's all it takes. Because guess what? The minute the black community set their sights on one thing, the NFL gonna have a problem. It just is. Once we form like Voltron and we set our sights on you, it's gonna be a problem. So the NFL in trouble. It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse, man. Shout out to John. Rooney Rule equals affirmative action equals welfare. You lost me with that one. Yeah, you lost me with that one. I don't know where he going with that one. Yo, Ash Money, what up, baby?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, chat?
This man at Target.
What?
Are you not at Target? That echo?
Nah, he said
Nah,
he was in school.
I'm leaving my class.
Oh, heard you.
Yeah. I'll just say this, and I tweeted this out when I was on Pest Channel yesterday, and it's just like something interesting that I kind of figured out. It's like we have all these players from in the NFL and in sports that have been talking out about a whole bunch of various topics, about COVID, about the vaccine, about a lot of stuff. But why is it that we don't see any players speak out about this particular issue with black coaches not getting not having a fair shake, and there being a lack of black coaches in the NFL? You know,
because Ash, you want me to answer? Or you?
Oh, go ahead.
Nah, because I went over this earlier. Somebody super chatted me some question about that. It's because there's not a powerful. The most important position in football is a quarterback position, right?
True.
Name the black quarterback that's willing to speak out and has the power to get people to fall in line if he spoke out about those issues. That's the problem. See, when LeBron and Giannis and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, when those NBA players make a statement to Adam Silver, he bends the knee because they run stuff. When the stars of the NBA say we not playing or we boycotting, everybody falls in line. In the NFL, it don't really work like that. That's why there was when Colin Kaepernick took his knee, some were against this, some weren't. Where was the dissension in the ranks when the NBA started boycotting and doing all that stuff? There was none, right?
No.
Everybody in the NBA was on one accord. In the NFL, it's too many people. There's not enough powerful black voices in the NFL to make everybody fall in line. That's the difference. That's why they're able to maintain control, because there's not enough. They're not unified enough. They can't even agree on CBA padded practices, let alone a black cause for head coaches.
Yeah, true. But yeah, like I looked it up and I'm like, literally the only player that I've known to do that, and even I looked it up, I couldn't find nothing. But I just thought about the only dude that said something about it was Deshaun Watson when he was trying to leave Houston because he wanted a black head coach. That's the only.
And look what they
player.
did to him. And they tore him to the ground.
Listen, and I also brought it up about, it was like, I feel real soon, and I know like an opportunity is going to be an opportunity no matter what. You're going to be hungry for an opportunity no matter what. But I feel like I just have this feeling real soon that there's going to be some black people who just going to go and just be like, why should I even try to search for and try to be a head coach? Why? And again, people are going to be hungry no matter what. But when you're a head coach, when you're black, you are forced to win immediately. Even Mike Tomlin, before he was Mike Tomlin, had to win. If Mike Tomlin had 2 loser seasons, y'all really think he would be the Pittsburgh Steelers coach by now? Even
Probably not.
if he had 2 loser seasons and then he went on to go to how many Super Bowls he went to? 2, I believe.
Yeah.
And he went on after those 2 seasons. He went to win a Super Bowl and then went to 2 Super Bowls. He wouldn't even be the head coach. Todd Bowles wasn't really. I'm not gonna say he was the answer for the Jets, but he wasn't bad.
Yo, bro,
Ron
look at
Fitzpatrick.
Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith lost the Super Bowl, but he got there. Went to a couple NFC Championship games, and they fired him after a 10-6 season.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say. And my problem with like, I saw it on Stephen A. Swift was talking about it on First Take, and a lot of people on Twitter. It's like the Giants aren't. And listen, I have no faith that John Mayer is not a racist. I'm not gonna say that because I mean you did have the news about his father, and then who knows? That's all I'm gonna say. But just because, and that's the only thing I disagree with Brian Flores on that is like just because you didn't get hired, I don't think that makes the Giants racist. But
It's
coming
a
at
bad
the
look.
process is one thing, right? It's a whole nother thing. That's the only thing that I disagree with Brian Flores on this whole thing. That's the only thing.
But
right?
real quick, before shout out to Bob Jones. John, if the NHL was 90% black head coaches, them dudes would be rioting. Stop it. Brian Flores worked his way up for 20 years and he had a good coaching record. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So like in the NHL where there's barely any black people because we don't like the code. In the NHL where there's like barely any black players, if 96% of the head coaches were black, the white America black, why do you got these black men trying to tell these white men what to do? They will say, how can you expect these white men to relate to these black men trying to coach them? Ain't that what y'all would say? But
Well,
when
I
it comes to
mean,
yeah, but that would be the story, right?
Yeah.
But how come they don't consider that when it comes to black men being coached by white men? Why? What if we want somebody who's more relatable to us, who understands what we're going through, understands what we've been? Why don't we? Why shouldn't you hire more black men to deal with black men? Don't it make sense?
Yeah. The only thing I'll say about the whole like Rooney Rule thing is that I think how it's this is a tough topic, so I don't even know how to put it in words, but how it like forces on both ends, like how it forces a guy to schedule an interview that he doesn't really want, or how it forces a guy to a brother to be dressed up for an interview, go in for a pointless interview. It's just pointless. But I'm not gonna say I don't like the Rooney Rule. I'm just saying that if people want to jump the gun and say, "Oh, the Rooney Rule is dumb. It's an embarrassment," you need to find a way to make sure that there isn't a divide and people in races having an equal opportunity at head coaching.
I already solved that. I'll tell you in a minute, Ash. But shout out to Eorky. Flores is the biggest story going into the Super Bowl when everyone is watching. Exactly. And it's only going to get worse after the Super Bowl because there's nothing else to talk about. This is the biggest
there's nothing else.
football for the remainder of the year. Remember, Deflategate happened when? In the AFC title game. What did the NFL talk about for the entire offseason?
Deflategate.
When Ray Rice, the video of Ray Rice leak when? In February around the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
What did the NFL talk about for the entire offseason?
Right. Even I think Aaron Hernandez happened around that. I'm not sure. Don't hold me on that, but I think it happened around like playoff time or something like that, or the actual like case itself.
This is what they're gonna talk about. This is definitely what they're gonna talk about. Shout out to Bob Jones. And I'm sick of people saying, "How come Patrick Graham didn't complain?" I see racism almost every day, but you pick and choose your battles because not everybody have brave enough. Exactly. And the thing is, without the Rooney Rule, Patrick Graham wouldn't even have gotten an interview.
Yeah.
Patrick Graham don't get these interviews without the Rooney Rule. Sorry.
It's just it pisses me off with people on Twitter. That's like they form an opinion before all the facts are put out. And I agree with you. And that really like opened my eyes even wider when you were like when the stuff came out about Miami. and how Flores was painted, as a guy who, didn't like Tua. He, went weeks without, he went weeks without not talking to his coaching staff. They were quick to jump the gun on that because Brian Daboll was their guy, and they
Ding,
wanted
ding,
to
ding,
push the
ding, ding,
agenda
ding,
for
ding.
Brian Daboll.
They pushed the
But
mess out of
now,
that agenda.
now, and I see it now, and I respect the people who be like, well, some people are actually going out and say, I was wrong. Kudos to Brian
Yeah,
Flores
because
for having to
Ash,
do with
how
that.
come they need facts? How come they need facts
Yeah,
to judge the Dolphins? How come they need
yeah,
why did they need facts to judge Brian Flores? Where don't facts at? Where don't text messages at that he hate Tua? I'll wait.
exactly.
Where
And
they at?
like, that's why I put it on Twitter the whole time. I've said, look at all the facts before you form an opinion.
Oh no,
That's
Giants fans,
not
they
even just
hated me that week. Yo, bro, Giants Twitter, like the white side of Giants Twitter was hating Big Fist that whole week because I was defending Brian Flores. They wanted
listen,
nothing to
man.
do with me.
And listen, you don't have to call nobody out, but I call somebody out. That Doug Rush pussy. I'm sorry for cussing, but that dude on Twitter, yo, I swear to God,
Doug is the
I
worst.
swear to God,
He's
I
the
swear to
worst, bro.
God,
He's the
like,
worst.
and he said he was dealing with depression and shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna.
That's
I'm
his
not gonna
cop
do
out.
it to you.
Depression
Yeah,
is why
he was.
why he coming at the black community. That's his
He
cop
said.
out.
He said, I've been dealing with depression for days and it's been hard.
Oh,
But
poor him.
oh, you passed away. Oh,
Yo, shout out
nah,
to
bro.
Eli. Yo, shout out to Eli, man. The fact that Jim Caldwell doesn't have a head coaching job is baffling to me. He had 3 out of 4 winning seasons in Detroit, and that's damn near impossible. Exactly. And don't forget, he also went to a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. Can't forget that.
Yep.
He went to a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. He don't get no credit for that, though.
Yep.
Shout out.
Listen. Oh, go ahead.
Shout out to Michael Matthias. Michael Matthias, remember, supporting Big Fisk is supporting small businesses. I appreciate your super chat, Michael. Michael says it's needed because if it wasn't, we'd still be in the 50s and 60s. Calling it welfare is dumb. If it was welfare, it's applicable to all these white coaches who get chance at the chance at the chance at the failing. Yeah, oh my goodness, Michael, that's beautiful. The welfare is the white coaches who get them handouts. That's the welfare.
Yep.
It ain't the black man. The black man got to be overqualified to get his job. The welfare is these recycled white coaches who continue to get jobs. That's the welfare. Oh no, the Rooney Rule ain't welfare. It's the systematic racism that's involved with these hirings that get recycled. That's the welfare program. Oh, shout out to Michael.
People,
that's beautiful.
And people, I'm in like the driving, the parking garage. So if you hear echo, my fault. But hold on, let me mute myself real quick.
Yeah. So why you muting that? When you say we still be in the 50s and 60s, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we didn't force integration in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, we'd still be segregated. You have to force change. You have to force change. You can't. Change isn't a choice. Change is something you do by force. You have to force change. It's not just gonna happen because people have a change of heart. They're not gonna change. They're not gonna have a change of heart. They're just not. They're not. So it is what it is, man. You know. Like I said, being black in America is the hardest job you can have, man. It is. Being a black man in America is one of the hardest jobs you can have. It's hard, man. It's hard.
And another thing, while I was listening in class, that I agree with, and I was making me think, it's like, I'm not gonna. Everybody believes in who they believe, who is the higher power, or this and that. But I believe in God, so that's how I'm going to speak at. We were born into sin. We were born into violence. This world that we're in. No matter if you were born in 1990, 2002, 2004, 2000, if you were just born 5 years ago, you were in this world. You were born into violence. So for people, the fact that Black people, we had to fight for our freedom and violence. It's not just the fact that, we were doing with like a race thing, but that's just the world we live in. Look back in Bible terms, like when the Israelites had to go out of Egypt. they had to fight for their freedom with violence. People were getting killed. It's
What
universal,
Ash
or not universal in this world, but go ahead.
what Ash is trying to say, without war there can be no peace. Nobody has ever been given freedom. They've taken their freedom. We just had a civil war, what, 150 years ago? If we didn't have a civil war, we'd still be in shackles. In order to create peace, you must first have war. In order for us to create change, we got to get uncomfortable. That's just how this goes. The Rooney Rule is great and it's a nice start. But if you really want to fix the problem, you need to you need to force black head coaches into certain positions. You need to put certain black people in positions of power amongst these coaching ranks.
Yeah.
Because once these black men get positions of power in these coaching ranks, they can bring on other black coaches and create their own coaching tree. And the more black head coaches you have in the cycle, the more opportunities that'll be created for us. That's just how this goes. You have to put black men and women in positions to bring on in positions of power so they can get more black men and women to join them and create more jobs for more black men and women. It's as simple as that. That's how this works.
It's not like, it's not like we're asking, like, it's not like people like us are asking for much. All we're asking is just give a brother like a chance that is like a chance that you would give a white dude. Give him 3 seasons as a head coach. When we talk about, when we hired Brian Daboll, we hired Joe Judge, everybody was talking about, you got to give this guy 3 seasons because coaching takes time. With these dudes, they get hired. If they go like 2-14 or 3 wins, 4 wins, they get hired. They get fired 1 season.
Yeah, fired. So it's like the Stephen Ross. He tried to get Brian Flores to tank. If Brian Flores had tanked and took that money, he would have fired him. It was a lose-lose situation for Brian Flores. It was a lose-lose. Shout out to Alexander.
The thing with I'll say that when you're done.
Remember, supporting big fish is supporting small businesses. We know there's racism in the NFL, but not when it comes to BF, to Brian Flores. Between the leaks and before firing 4 offensive coordinators in 3 years, he's proven that he's not easy to work with. It's not race or talent, it's character. Nah, not really. Once you hear the lawsuit and you see what really happened with the yacht and then being paid to tank and things of that nature, they fired him with a winning record because he didn't listen to them. He didn't want to tank. He didn't want to court Deshaun Watson. He didn't do those things. He didn't want to tamper. He didn't want to jeopardize the integrity of the game. So he was fired. So when you say between the leaks, so Alexander, my question to you was, what leaks are you referring to? Are you referring to those leaks that dragged Brian Flores' name through the mud for weeks? Are you referring to those leaks? Because I don't remember anybody saying, where's the evidence? We need to see all the facts. Are those the leaks that you're referring to, Alexander? What about what Brian Flores is suing the Miami Dolphins for? Why you ain't addressed that? You bury Brian Flores, but you failed to represent, or I'm sorry, not represent, but you failed to bring up what the Dolphins are accused of. Everything you just said about Brian Flores, those are accusations. Doesn't the head coach need permission from the general manager to fire a coordinator? I could have sworn Joe Judge never had to get permission from Mara to fire the Big Red. What's the red-headed coach name?
Jason Garrett.
Yes, he had to get permission to fire Jason Garrett. He couldn't just do it. So who was giving Brian Flores permission to fire these offensive coordinators? I'll wait. Your whole super chat was one-sided. And the energy that you gave me in that super chat, Alexander, is why we have this lawsuit today. Because Brian Flores is tired of his name and his character being dragged through the mud with inaccurate accusations. Sorry, Alexander. That's just how it is, bro. Your super chat is validation for the lawsuit.
Giants fans got to understand that the Giants aren't the only team in the whole NFL. When we refer to the lawsuits, nobody's just referring to just this situation in general. I didn't mean to see lawsuits in plural, but this situation in general is not revolved 100% around the New York Giants. And I said, Brian Flores, I think he's wrong for trying to say that the Giants are racist in terms of his lawsuit. I didn't, you know, I didn't, I don't, I didn't read the full thing, so I don't know if it's totally around the Giants being racist, or if it's something about the Giants being racist and there's something about the process. I'm not sure. But the racist part about that, I disagree with. And people got to understand that when people say like the Giants are racist because they never had a black head coach, they never had a black quarterback. Y'all got to understand the Giants had Tom Coughlin since 2004 to 2015. Jim Fossil was here for what, 3 4 years, took the team to the Super Bowl. Bill Parcells.
Shout out to Bob Jones while Ash Money might go out. Also, let's
Can
be
you hear me?
honest. I hear you now. He says white fans getting upset. Relax. This not about you. This is between black head coaches and the good old boy owners. This not your business. Thank you. This is bigger than the Giants. I said it in my video yesterday. The Giants are a casualty of war right now. It's bigger than the Giants. It's not just the Giants. It's the Broncos are in this lawsuit. The Dolphins are the main ones in the lawsuit, but it's bigger than the Giants. And it's like, and it irks me because a lot of Giants people, a lot of Giants, content creators, Giants bloggers, Giants podcasters, a lot of the people who represent the voices of the Giants are defensive. All they could talk about is what the Giants didn't do. They don't care about why Brian Flores is suing the league. They're not trying to take Brian Flores' side at all. They're just concerned with the Giants keeping draft picks. Oh no, the Giants satisfied the Rooney Rule. This is why the Rooney Rule is stupid. We shouldn't have this Rooney Rule. If we didn't have the Rooney Rule, we wouldn't be in this situation. A lot of these Giants people are getting defensive because they want to defend the Giants rather than defend what's right. And that's wrong. And I stand by that. And it's not hard to see. Look at the content. Look at the tweets. Look at the podcast. Listen to the words that have been spewed by a lot of these people who represent the voice of the Giants community. It's very defensive. There's no remorse. There's no understanding. There's no defending of Brian Flores. It's all about what the Giants did and didn't do. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the retracting of statements? Oh man, we're sorry we leaked those inaccurate statements about Brian Flores. Where is it? I'll wait. I'll wait. It's all about the Giants, what they did and didn't do. They don't care about the lawsuit and the bigger purpose that it stands for. All they care about is what the Giants did and didn't do. And it's disgusting. Shout out to Michael. Be happy black people want a chance and not revenge. Oh, don't get me started on that, Michael. Woo! Don't get me started on that one. But you're right. you 1,000% right, Michael. You 1,000% right. Don't get me started on that one. Shout out
Sorry,
to
my
Vincent.
phone, my sound got cut off. So I had to join
You
back.
good. You good. Shout out to Vincent. Vincent says, love the channel, Big Fist. I always wonder why college ADs resist hiring black head coaches, especially for recruiting. Some old white guys get chances. That same old white guys get chances. You know why? Because remember, Vincent, the people who run the show don't want to sit and have lunch with the black guy. They don't want the black family at these freaking functions and gatherings and parties. They don't want the black man there. They want the black man either in the kitchen or they want the black man on the field. They don't want the black man in their quarters drinking and laughing and sharing stories with them. That's why black men don't work with the white man, they work for him. That's the essence and the root of the problem. They don't want black men in a position of power because they don't want to mingle with them. That's the problem. The shot callers, the positions, the people who get leadership positions in the NFL, those are passed down from one white generation to the next white generation. Their worst fear, some of these powerful white men, their worst fear is to walk into their office one day and see more black men than white men, because then they feel they're losing power and they're losing control. And that's not just the NFL, that's in every organization in this country. It is what it is. It's sad, but it's the truth.
Yo, first I gotta
Shut.
head out here now. I gotta go get to work. But I want to say thank you for having me on. It was a good talk. Shout out to Ash as well. and to all the good people in the chat, because there's been some people in the chat that's been kind of annoying today. But have a good one, man.
Yeah, be safe out there, huh? Shout out to Bob Jones. I'm gonna say this: if you're getting defensive right now, it shows me your character. You show who you are in tense situations. A lot of true colors. A lot of people. Yeah, I know the true colors. I've been knowing the true colors about some of these people, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But it's like when it all comes down to it, man. In order to be comfortable later, you got to be uncomfortable now. We got to get uncomfortable now so we can be comfortable later, man. Sometimes these things got to happen. It's got to happen. If you want change, you got to fight for it. If you want power, you got to take it. And we got to get uncomfortable. And I'm so happy that Brian Flores has about 30 to 40 other black coaches ready to sign on with him. I'm so happy that it's been reported that there's about 20 players from the Dolphins that are willing to sign on with him. This needs to happen. If everything goes well, imagine the change that we can have in the NFL hiring process. Imagine the changes we can invoke on the college hiring process. The more black men who get positions of power in these front offices, the more black men are going to get jobs. In order for black men to get jobs, we have to be given jobs. In order to get jobs, we need to have black men in a position of power who can relate to us and want to see us in that room with them. We got to get uncomfortable so we can be comfortable later. It's as simple as that. Shout out to Alex. Alex says, thanks, Fist, for speaking the truth. It's Black History Month and history is watching. My take, we need stronger union power and more player input on hires. I agree. I agree with that. And which is why I want to know where the players union, I want to know where the player union stands on this. Because the players union kind of got to wait, no, they don't have to defend Flores. Because he's not a player. He's technically the front. I got to get details on that, man. I wonder where the players union stands on this. This is interesting. Because Brian Flores isn't a player. He's technically ownership because he was a coach. A coach and GM, they're ownership. They're not players. This is gonna be interesting. I wonder where the players are gonna fall on this. This is gonna get interesting. This is gonna be real interesting. Shout out to Bob Jones. Yo, Fist, check license plate guy. This dude talking about we pulling a race card and he complaining about how to watch. Oh, your license plate guy been bugging. Yeah, on Twitter, your license plate guy been bugging. Talking about some what about what the Washington Redskins name mean to me? They're always gonna be the Redskins to me. What? Yo, license plate guy been on Twitter bugging. Nah, he's definitely showing his true colors. We know where license plate guys stand at. Oh my gosh. He been on Twitter bugging. Now I definitely seen that, Bob. I'm taking him out my thumbtail montage. I had on license plate guy in my montage in the new Giants montage I did that you can see on my most recent Giants video. Oh no, I got to edit him out. I don't like his energy. I don't like his undertones. He doing too much. Nah, license plate guy definitely doing too much on Twitter right now. Shout out to Eli. I believe there is a coaches union. Well, I hope so. I hope so, but it's not gonna matter though because Brian, yo, Brian Flores is about to be a thorn in the NFL side, man. And all these black coaches who know they never getting jobs, they're all gonna join the lawsuit. If you're a black NFL head coach and you've been waiting 8 to 10 years to get a second chance, you about to join this man lawsuit if you know you're not getting a job. What you got to lose? For real. If you Lovie Smith and ain't had a job since, if you Jim Caldwell and you ain't had a job since, if you Todd Bowles, Raheem Brock, or Raheem Morris, whatever the defensive coordinator in LA his name is, if you one of these dudes who you know not getting a chance, why not join? What you got to lose? This lawsuit may be your only chance to get another job in the NFL. At this point,
I just can't stand some people. Like y'all, I'm not gonna cuss. I know I did cuss before. I'm not gonna cuss as this is your Giants channel. This on my channel, so I'm gonna keep it respectful. But y'all really have to do your research before you talk about certain topics. This thing cuts deeper than just the whole
The
race thing.
Giants. Yeah.
It cuts deeper than the Giants too. This is a problem that has been going on for years, decades, centuries. Do y'all not understand how people of it? I'm not just gonna go and say black people. I'm gonna say minorities, even though there has been laws passed and bills that have been signed that have been strictly for Latinos or Asians, but there's been no bill passed for blacks. But that's neither here or there. We're not going to get into the politics about this. But, and I get it, sports is sports. The sports world is a place where we could all come together, and we shouldn't have to talk about politics. And you know, it's a place where we can share a love for a team and for players and all this. But at a time, it has to be talked about. This decision or this lawsuit, and I get a lot of people don't want to have the tough talk, but like you said, like in order for us to have change, and for order for us to get to a better place than we are right now, the tough talks have to be had. We have to sit at a table and have these heartfelt discussions, these discussions that nobody wants to have. And reading some people's comments, I'm not going to call anybody out, but it just shows me that we are farther away than where we really believe we are. Just because you know we could go to school, just because we could go to school without segregated classes, we could use the same bathroom, we could sip from the same water fountain. You know, just because you know the direct stuff, you know, isn't there anymore. Y'all got to realize that racism and profiling is going to be here for really forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's been carried on from generation to generation.
And
Just do your research before you talk stupidly.
agreed. I agree with you, Ash. And shout out to Bob Jones. I had to step to two other content creators. They don't say my name on their platform. I won't say their name on mine. I had to step to two other content creators because a lot of them more concerned with making sure we don't call Giants racist than anything else. Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, I notice it. Like I said, it's called. Sometimes you gotta. Nah, yeah, they know what they're doing. I was gonna say sometimes you gotta forgive people for what they don't know or what they don't understand. But nah, they're definitely triggered. They are. They're not the only ones. They're definitely triggered. They're way more concerned with defending the Giants than they are understanding why Brian Flores is really suing the league. They're way more concerned with defending the Giants and Brian Daboll and all this other stuff. You know, like all I'm gonna say is this: when I don't know how else to say this, but when you do a 21-minute video when most of it is about getting rid of the Rooney Rule, something's wrong with that.
And
You missing the
nobody's
point.
asking. No,
You missing the point.
nobody is asking anybody to choose a side.
I
Nobody's
am.
sitting there saying, you know,
No.
you either.
I am.
Well, you, but well, me personally, I'm not asking you, even though you know what's wrong is wrong. I'm not asking you to, you know, just choose a side. I mean, if you feel Brian Flores is wrong for the stuff about the Giants, you feel he's wrong. All I'm asking you to do is understand where people like us are coming from. That's all we're asking.
Yeah, but they don't
Is that
care,
really
Ash.
hard?
Yes, it is, Ash. It's very hard for them to care. It's very hard for them to understand where we're coming from. It is. It is. Hate to break it to you, but it is. They don't care. They don't feel our pain. They don't understand our pain. They think we're just complaining at this point. That's the mindset of how they feel. Shout out to Eli though. Remember, supporting Big Fisk is supporting small businesses. Josh McDaniels got caught cheating in Denver, took the coach job, then resigned days later via fax. And then the Raiders coach, meanwhile, and he's the Raiders coach. Meanwhile, Super Bowl winning black coaches can't get a second job. Shaking my head. Yeah, pretty much. That's the problem. We need more people.
Does anybody know what the Raider coach is like? What his race is?
It's Josh McDaniels.
Like I don't want to. No, I'm talking about the interim head coach that they had.
Oh, was he Spanish or was he black? I don't know. It's a good question. But nah, Josh McDaniel, that's another thing, right? So the whole Josh McDaniel things, if a black head coach had turned down a job, had resigned from a job 3 days later, he never coach again. If a black head coach got caught cheating, he would never coach again. He just wouldn't. Black head coaches like Brian Flores get fired with winning records and don't get another call. Lovie Smith gets fired with winning records and don't get another call. Imagine if we violated something. Shout out to Alexander. If you want and remember, supporting Big Fisk is supporting small businesses. If you want the overall landscape to change, you need more black GMs and ultimately ownership. The conversations needs to be had, but I'm not a Brian Flores fan. Would love to see Mike Tomlin, Marvin Lewis, etc. get on board though. Nah, the time for talk is over. It's time for action. And we ain't got time to talk no more. Talking ain't doing nothing. I said it before. I said it 1,000 times.
We've been trying to talk for 100 fucking years.
Yeah, I'm tired of talking. If you want power, you got to take it. We need to get uncomfortable so we can be comfortable later. It's time to take what we want. It's the time for talking is over. If we want it, we got to take it. No. We need to put sanctions and mandates in that put us in the building, that put us directly where we need to be. The time for talking and begging for sympathy is over. Enough of that. Shout out to Bob Jones. And Fist, there's an old white dude online, Big Blue, who came out and said the Giants violated the Rooney Rule, so I'm not giving nobody a pass. Oh, no, we definitely murdered the spirit of the Rooney Rule. That ain't even up for debate. Because the fact of the matter is, if Bill Belichick knew he was getting the job on the 24th, we didn't satisfy the Rooney Rule to the 28th when Leslie Frazier came in for that in-person interview. So we're already screwed. We already technically lost that part of the lawsuit. The Giants are going to get punished. The question is, how hard are they going to come down on the Giants? And shout out to
Eorky. Oh, go ahead.
Eorky, remember, supporting Big Fisk is supporting small business. I appreciate your donation, Eorky. Fisk, I'll be honest with you. White people are scared. That solution would be reverse racism against white people. That's a valid fear. But bottom line, we're all human beings first. Defend Flores if he's right. And what you said, Eorky, is why I said we must take it by force. Because they're never going to hand over that power because it is reverse racism. We are taking their control. We're taking their power piece by piece. The more black men you put in positions of power, the less white men there are in position of power, and the less power and control they ultimately have. That's why we can't talk. That's why we must take by force. We must get laws in action or whatever we got to do to put black men in these rooms where we need to get uncomfortable. We need to have multiple black men in these rooms. We need to have multiple black men in uncomfortable positions in these positions of power until we get comfortable. In order to get comfortable later, we must get uncomfortable now. Period. We got to take it by force, man. It's not going to be given to us.
I just want to thank you for inviting me on the stream. Because now I was planning to do a stream at 5, and it was going to be a little calm stream. But now you got me fired up for my stream. So
hey,
I just want to thank you.
I'm here, man. I mean, I gotta listen. I'm just here. I'm here to tell the truth. I built my brand on the truth, nothing more, nothing less. And I always wanted the opportunity to speak up for my people and give my voice on how to help my people out. And if I can use my small platform to spread some word and inspire people who are in more positions of power than I am to invoke change, then that's what I'll do. I'm here to do my part any way I can. Shout out to Bob Jones. The black head coach and quarterback represents the face of the team. That's why in the early 2000s, a lot of young black kids in New York liked the Eagles because of McNabb. White folks not hip to it. That's a fact. There's a lot of black kids in America rock with the Eagles. There's a lot of black kids in America that rock with the Titans because of McNair as well. Michael Vick. That's why Michael Vick was the biggest thing booming, because he represented the black culture.
They hate him as a quick.
Hey, yo, Ash, mute your mic, bro.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so it's like that. But here's the thing, Bob Jones. I'm glad you brought up McNabb, right? If the NFL had about 5 Michael Vicks and like 2 or 3 McNabbs, they would have the power to boycott. They would have the power to invoke change with the players association, not the players union and things like that. Because Michael Vick was as popular as a LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Giannis. We need more black quarterbacks, as that's the position in the NFL that matters. You need more black quarterbacks who have that popularity and power amongst his own brethren. The NFL is a brotherhood. You need more powerful black men in that position. Richard Sherman and Michael Jenkins can only do so much, being a safety in a corner. But if you had somebody like a Michael Vick in his prime, speaking what I'm speaking today, or speaking some of the things that the Richard Shermans have been trying to speak to, we'd be in a better situation. But we don't have nobody at that position in the NFL powerful enough to get people to follow him. We just don't. How you doing today, Boogie?
Doing fine, bro. I'm just sitting here listening to y'all while I was, taking care of some, duties. You know what I got going on. But oh man. First off, I want to say, regardless if Brian Doyle, if he was the better candidate, I think everybody saying that is missing the entire point. That's not the point. It don't matter if, Bill Belichick said he wanted to be the coach of the Giants and we hired Bill Belichick over Brian Flores. You're missing the point. Unfortunately, I've always said this, the cost, when you become a leader or something, the cost you pay is your life. And unfortunately, I don't know if Brian Flores will get him the coaching job. But if you look at, I hate to compare him to Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. That's not what I'm doing. But they killed them because they were powerful. They didn't kill them because they had power to control the mass.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't kill them because they were just some nobody. Nobody cared about them.
They killed them because they were a threat.
Yes, and obviously Brian Flores is not going to die, but not like that. But this is what he's gonna pay for his coaching career with this.
Same way Colin Kaepernick.
The same way Colin Kaepernick is not a quarterback. Yeah, he lost his career, and now I don't know if you guys saw, but Hugh Jackson came out and said something about the Browns.
Oh yeah, I heard about Hugh Jackson with the Browns.
Yeah, he was saying that he was getting paid to he wasn't getting paid, but he was getting more compensated for losing. Then these owners they're always gonna try to find a way to finagle something. Do we forget how Robert Kraft was in 5 years ago, 4 years ago? That whole
no, it was 2 years ago. Right
was
before
it really, was it 2 years ago that whole sex scandal with the massage?
The massage parlor.
They think they're more powerful than what they are until something comes out. That's why when somebody powerful, and I hate to play the black and white card, but when somebody powerful that's white, you're shocked. Why are people shocked that they're doing something shady?
Yeah, when it's the white man, they're shocked. When it's the black man, they say, "I knew it."
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They think because they think that money and what they are can solve everything.
And for them, it does, though. 90% of the time.
90% of the time,
for them, it does.
It was like with the Clippers, some time ago when they were all we're not going to play, period. They forced that guy to sell the team.
Yep. And that's the thing, right? It's the Dolphins, right?
Yeah, if this is true with the Dolphins, it's 100K. He's selling. He's gonna get forced to sell the team.
Yeah. If they can prove that in court, he's definitely selling the team. And shout out to Michael. Michael says no such thing as reverse racism. That requires a power system black people don't have. Period. That's a cop out. Oh nah. See, well, the thing is, I will say this. Well, all I'm saying is, it would take power and control away from the majority, which is the white man. So it's like, if you got 30 positions of power, I'm just going to use an example like this, right?
Okay.
If there's 30 positions of power, and right now the white man occupies 29 positions of those 30 positions of power, why would he let the black man get, I don't know, 12 to 13 positions of power out of the 30? Because why would he do that? He would lose power, right? Because all of a sudden now you got 13, 14 black men in positions of power, and you only got 17, 18 white men in positions of power. The power struggle then becomes too close. So now the black man, like you said in your super chat, that requires a power system that the black people don't have. But if it became closer, the black people would have that power system.
It's gonna be hard to come closer.
Fight to invoke change.
These teams tried. If you think about it, like remember when Diddy tried to buy the Panthers? They blocked it incredibly fast.
Incredibly fast, exactly.
It was Diddy. Steph Curry was gonna buy it. Like every person that had money that was black was like, yo, like let's do it.
They were gonna come together.
Yeah, we're gonna come together and they were gonna buy the Panthers, and they blocked it so fast.
And guess what? People forget something, right? Jay-Z was the minority owner for the Nets, and Jay-Z put the Nets on the map. He moved them to Brooklyn. He's the reason they got that new stadium.
Yeah,
they used Jay-Z because they knew Jay-Z had influence.
Yeah,
in that market.
That's all they did. They used. I mean,
they used
whatever his money was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like
because he got that team to Brooklyn. He got that new stadium. He made the Nets popular because they associated with Hove. Yeah, when Hove had a bar about, I'm pulling up to the building in my own parking space. I own the building. I pull up in my own parking space with my own seat. He was rapping about it. So he don't
own enough. The problem is also he don't own enough.
Yeah, he did.
Like the person that bought the Nets, to be completely honest, he just wanted to make money. So he was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he just let Jay-Z do what he wanted to do, as long as he didn't like make him broke.
He let him be
yeah, he didn't care. He was in it to make money. That dude was not in it to really own it. He sold the Nets, 4 years later? Like,
he definitely did. Prokhorov. Shout out to Talk to Echo. To be honest, how Giants fans did Geno Smith when it was not his fault Eli got benched for him made me super uncomfortable. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I wanted to tackle too. Thank you for me. A lot of these fans are Giants fans first, or a team fan first, and a human being second. And it's sad to say that, but that's what they are. The people that I just read something. I just saw something. I'm sorry. Tiki Barber was speaking on how the Giants are not racist and Mara's not racist. Like, I was at his house, this, that, and the third. I'm like, you play for them. What are they going to do? Treat you bad so you want to leave?
Exactly. I'm
not saying that, I'm not going to put words in nobody's mouth by saying who racist, who's not racist. That's not my place.
Oh, no, they let one of their top field niggas have dinner one night. What they do? Master let one of his favorite field niggas in the house for dinner one night.
That's how they feel about them, to be completely honest.
Yeah, that's how they feel. Especially you're the black man in the field. You're in the field. You're not.
Especially when you throw money at it, when you don't put up your own money, somebody owns you. In that sense. Mm-hmm. So if they paying whatever you are, $150 million, whatever they tell you to do, you doing it in public. Period. No matter how you feel behind closed doors. And the second you go against that, they find Deshaun Watson's case. His case came up because he didn't want to be there no more. Mm-hmm. Nobody said nothing about it. The second he said he wanted to be traded, all this stuff magically came out.
No. The fact that when he said he wanted a black head coach, that's when all the stuff came out.
And I'm definitely not here to say, whether if he's innocent or not. That's not what I'm getting at, because it could have came out any given time.
Well, he can only be so guilty because they ain't arrested him yet. If he was that guilty, he'd be arrested.
That too. But what I'm saying is that why did it take for him to do that? If it was going to come out, it should have came out anyway. It came out like days after, maybe even a day after. Like, it wasn't like.
And the lawyer is neighbors with the owner. By the way,
like that's.
But shout out to Corey. We have two white lawyers. Why he have two white lawyers if he's black? Well, I don't know. How about this? Why do the NFL owners have nothing but black players if they, you know what I'm saying, if we're not good enough to coach, why are we good enough to play? Answer that question. I mean, for real, think about that.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound really controversial, but like we're just superior. I'm just gonna keep it what it is. We're just better.
Yeah, no, and we're but what and that go. But what I'm trying to say is like the black man is the most equipped to go out there and play cornerback, play running back, right? Well, get the Jewish lawyer who has all the connections and eats with these judges and politicians are most equipped to get a job done in the court of law. It's the same thing, Corey.
That's different. You gotta hire the best person for the job. Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before you embark on that, that's a thin line with that. We gotta address that in a different intro to that one. Shout out to Yorkie. My comment on reverse racism was just to explain why you get pushback. It's fear. I am a white man sympathetic to Flores, human beings first. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? But in your fear, and that fear that Yorkie talks about is the fear of the ones in power. They don't want to lose power. They don't want to lose control.
Yeah.
You take power. You take control. You don't negotiate. You don't negotiate.
Wow. Yeah. Like, unfortunately, they look at the NFL as a business. It is a business, but they don't look at it as like anything else. And it's like, I'm in control. This is what I'm doing. I don't care. You can't stop me until, legal stuff gets involved. People don't feel remorse until they get in trouble. Because what they think they're doing, they think it's okay. They think that they can just do what they want until, you go to court. Oh, you might go to jail for 150 years.
Oh, yeah, jail makes people very jail makes the worst.
People are only sorry they get caught. They're not sorry about what they're doing.
Pretty much.
I care about what people are doing behind my back, not what they do in front of my face. I've always said that.
And shout out to Bob Jones. It got leaked a month ago that John Mara said he didn't want rapper quarterbacks. I'm not calling no names, but we ain't stupid. The undertones there, bro. Yeah, pretty much. Hey, yo, Bob Jones. Oh, yeah, we know. Why you think he got rid of Odell? He ain't like the fact that
Odell was never the problem. Odell was bigger than the Giants, period.
He didn't like that. He was more popular than Eli. He was the face of the organization, and John Mara did not like the fact that Odell Beckham Jr. was the face of the franchise. He got rid of him.
It's the same reason why we listen. I hate to bring Daniel Jones into it, but it's the reason why we have Daniel Jones. Like, he's a quarterback that's he's not gonna. Why wouldn't
he's chosen? He's chosen. That's who John Mara wants to be around.
Yeah,
he's chosen. That's who John Mara wants to be.
That's what I'm
saying. The man in Seattle, they pick and choose who they want to be the face of the organization. They wanted Russell Wilson, even though it's a black and black thing. They wanted the allegedly Uncle Tom. That's what Sherman and them boys was calling him. They wanted Uncle Tom Russ to be the face of the organization. They didn't want hip hop Marshawn Lynch to be the face of the organization. Mm-hmm. That's why they didn't. That's why they didn't
win the ball. They do the ball because they wanted Russell Wilson to win the MVP.
And they didn't want Lynch to get MVP, and it cost them a Super Bowl.
And even, I'm not going to say. Oh, go ahead, Phil. I'll let you get this.
Shout out to Bob Jones, and even Jerry Reese, the content creator with the 21-minute video, spent 5 years trashing Reese, who had 2 rings, while praising Dave Gettleman, who destroyed Carolina. Hey, look, man. Hey, look. I can only lead you to the water.
I can say a lot of bad things about Jerry Reese, but I will say he was a better GM than Dave Gettleman.
But here's the thing. Hey, Bob Jones, I can only lead y'all to the water. I can't make you drink it. So I'm happy you're drinking the water. I can only lead you to the water. I can't make you drink it.
Like, what? And another thing about the Daniel Jones. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say
Bob
this.
Jones for drinking.
Are we calling out content creators, or are we not?
No. I'm not calling out nobody by name. Okay. If somebody want to super chat me and say something, I'm rocking with it. I'm not. Listen,
I'm just saying.
Here to call nobody out by name.
So are you
not promoting nobody on my platform?
Are you going to be upset if I say something about somebody?
No, don't. Not on my platform. We're not calling out nobody by names on my platform because I don't get shine on other people's platforms, so they get no shine on mine. Shout out to Bob Jones. And bitter truth, but a lot of Giants fans see black players as chill as long as they're on the field and quiet. But once they open their mouth, it's a wrap.
Look at how they classify Kadarius Toney.
Oh my goodness,
bro! They hate Kadarius Toney.
I'm glad you brought up Kadarius Toney.
They can't stand Kadarius Toney.
Something yesterday. This dude tweeted out something yesterday. They don't even know if it's related to the situation or not. They quote in this tweet talking about, "Oh boy, here we go again. Here he goes."
No, because
Here
they
he
don't.
goes.
They
Here goes
don't
doing
want. They don't want this. This is the problem. They don't want the NFL to become the NBA.
Nope.
At the end of the day, do you even know a quarter of the NBA owners that's not supporting? Like you might know Mark Cuban because he supports black this or black. You know what I'm saying? Like any like you don't know half of the NBA owners. You probably know 25 of or 24 of the NFL owners compared to the NBA owners.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the NBA owners, they know they don't have no power.
None. None.
They
Zero.
know. And on top of that, Adam Silver is a player. He's with the players more than he's with the owners.
And you know why? Because LeBron James, and that's why a lot of white America hates LeBron James because they fear LeBron. What LeBron James is white America's worst nightmare.
Listen.
A powerful black man who can control stuff. It's America's worst nightmare.
What was the famous sentence in American Gangster when Russell Crowe was talking to Denzel? He represents progress.
Yeah, LeBron James is the epitome of progress. Oh, they don't like that. Oh no, they hate LeBron. Oh, they want LeBron to shut up and dribble. They can't. Oh my goodness. Remember how they tried to cancel the NBA? Oh, the NBA's too woke. I'm tired of the NBA. The NBA's too woke. They hate the NBA because the black man run the NBA. That's why they don't like
the
it.
only reason why they love Jordan because Jordan didn't talk about it.
Jordan shut up and dribbled. He shut up and dribbled. But
and he still don't talk about it.
I want to get back to what Bob Jones said and what Ash Money said. Yo, they buried Kadarius Toney. Boy Kadarius Toney caught COVID and they treated him like he went out and caught a lawsuit. Oh, why Kadarius Toney got the wrong size cleat? Because the equipment manager messed up. They blame that on Kadarius Toney. Why is Kadarius Toney always hurt? They blame that on him. They hated Kadarius Toney.
I ain't gonna lie.
They blamed him. They blamed him for the passing of his grandmother.
Word. They hate Kadarius Toney. Them Giants beat reporters and them Giants people who cover the Giants cannot stand Kadarius Toney.
Bro, it's the same reason why, right? Or we can talk about this too. When AP beat his kid with the switch, he got crucified. When our kicker, what was it, John Brown, when they found out he was beating his wife, he got removed, but nobody made a big deal about it. Like the media mass didn't make a big deal about it. They talked about it, they moved on. AP, he should be suspended. He shouldn't come back.
Look at what you call it. Look at who was that offensive lineman that was
Seattle?
No, the one that used to play for the Giants. It was an offensive lineman.
He was in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That story ran away quick. They ain't treat him like Ray Rice. But shout out to Mr. Finesse. Yo, Fist, salute to you, fam. I appreciate how you stand your ground at times alone. Flores situation, no surprise. The same mentality runs the United States and the NFL. Yeah, and like I said, yo, Mr. Finesse, I'm here to speak on it. Because if I don't speak on it, who else gonna speak on it? Who else gonna deliver the message? If I don't use my platform right now amongst this community, who else gonna give you this message?
Be honest. Unfortunately, I don't follow no content curators. All due respect to all the content curators, I don't follow any of them. But I do get tagged in a lot of stuff with content curators. They're just afraid. They're afraid of what somebody might think of them.
Not only are they afraid, but they also don't agree with my message. A lot of them agree with the owner side of things. They don't agree with the black. They don't support what the black man is trying to accomplish right now. So they can't in good faith.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they would fear.
It's because they're. Oh, go ahead. My fault.
You go.
Because that their life with some of these content creators, their life only revolves around covering the Giants and making videos about the Giants.
Yeah, but
if they weren't doing this and making money off of it, they would be a nobody. They would be nobody.
That's what I'm saying. But they're afraid to lose. They're afraid to lose. The one thing I would never do, Fist knows this, I'm not compromising myself. Listen, I'll tell you this right now. Me and Fist have had conversations back door. Yo, Boogie, why don't you just do this? I will never compromise myself for money.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? I'm here for y'all. You know what Mr. Finesse just says. I stand for the black Giants fans who ain't represented on YouTube. I'm here for y'all. I got y'all. I know who my base is. I know who I'm speaking for, and I appreciate the white fans who sympathize and are trying to understand my plight because we need you in this fight as well. And I represent everybody who wants change. I represent everybody who wants equality. That's what we're fighting for here. The only difference is I'm tired of talking and I want to take action. So the words that I put
that's
on
the
this
sad
channel,
part. We just fighting. We're not even fighting to get ahead. We just fighting to be an equal. We don't even
and we just want equality. We fighting for equality. We're not even fighting to get ahead. We'll get ahead of you on our own volition. We just want to get equal first.
Yeah.
But shout out to Bob Jones. Bob Jones says Boogie hit the nail on the head. The biggest fear for white America is 50% of the quarterbacks and head coaches on Sundays every week. That makes them uncomfortable. Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't want to see. They don't want it to be like the NBA where half of the head coaches are black and all the players are black. They don't want that because the more black control you have, the more black influence you have, the more your product.
And they hate all the white people that co-sign black people.
They can't stand. Oh,
they hate Popovich. They can't stand Popovich.
No, when white folks was marching for the George Floyd riots, them cops was getting madder. When they saw the white when they saw the little white kids out there saying Black Lives Matter, that was making the cops even madder.
Bro, what?
They couldn't stand it. Oh, they couldn't stand it. When white people start supporting black people, they hate that.
And by all means, I am not talking about every white person. Like y'all gotta don't.
Nah, we ain't talking about every white. Look, bro, check this out. They know who we talking about.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Understood don't need to be said. They know who we talking about. So it's just, when it all comes down to it, y'all gotta understand, man. I'm just here. I'm here to do my part. So all I'm trying to do my part the best way I can. Here to do my part. So all I'm trying to do is do my part, preach my message, spread my word, and hopefully some other people who have platforms and some other people in positions of power who agree with me, maybe me coming out and speaking my mind will influence them to speak their mind. And we can team up and we can do this together.
I hope they do, but I hope they do, but I doubt it.
Yeah, like I said when I was in here with Hub, right? I was like, Hub, you sure you want to be in the stream with me right now? I know you're friends with a lot of people. They're not gonna like this stream. A lot of, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like, I don't fall.
But you know what, bro? Shout out to Hub. I don't really know him like that, but if he's willing to do that,
and shout out to Ash Money for being in here too, because you're gonna get. Listen, bro, when you stand next to big fish, you might catch a strait, man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't. Excuse me, I don't give a fuck.
This is the thing, though, right? You know who you will figure out who your friends are real quick. If you have an opinion on something, and y'all, we can disagree. We can look at it two different ways. Listen, I'm one of those people that, at work, there's not. I'm one of the only black people at my job that have power. You know what I'm saying? Like that actually have power in the building. And I try to educate my fellow coworkers on certain situations when things. Cause we talk about all this stuff. Like when I go to work tomorrow, we're gonna talk about this. Like it's what we talk about it. They don't come from where we come from. You don't know what it's like to feel this way. So I try to educate them on it. Some of them listen. Some of them just want to say what they want to say, and they don't want to. They have to be right all the time. And I just don't let. They're not intelligent. I just let them do what they're doing. And I'll tell you this right now. They probably going to hear this because they listen to the podcast. They know. They listen to this. They probably going to know I'm talking about them. I really don't care. And Fisk could tell you. He knows I don't. He knows I don't care. I will curse out one of them in a second in front of everybody. Especially if they wrong.
And that's the thing too, man. Shout out to my guy, Bob Jones. Bob Jones says, I'll say this, though, on Giants YouTube, you're a rare voice. Giants fan base got a real good old boys, good time aura. That's what puts. Oh, bro. Oh, I already felt that, right? Yo, Bob, I already said it. Why? I've already said it. There's a reason I'm not on their platforms. I'm not part of the good old boys club.
Why
having me on their platform?
Why you think I made I try to get everybody to all the African American content creators to like do something where we have like a round table every other month or something like that. When you see all these round tables, listen. The only dude, let's be real, the only dude that is on the round tables is that I've seen is Hub and Pep. He he has his Twitter Spaces. I'm not calling out no. I'm just saying these are the people I see. Even Authentic, he doesn't really get in on them like that because he has his own thing, right? We need to, and that's just in everything.
But that's the problem. Also, and that's a Black community problem, though. People just don't like. We're more against each other than like I shouldn't have to fight my people and everybody else.
See, but here's the thing, right? And here's the thing, right? See, a year ago, I would have went scorched earth, and I would have spoke, and I would have went too far. But I've matured. Okay, I've matured. So here's what I'm gonna say.
No, you haven't. You just contained yourself.
Yeah, I know. I've gotten better at containing.
Because you're gonna get off the phone and we're gonna have this conversation behind closed doors. And
and I'm gonna trash everybody. I'm not saying my name. I'm gonna burn them to the ground when we get on the phone. But here's the deal, right? So it's like this. I understand that the lane I'm in ain't for everybody. It's hard to tell the truth. It's hard to be real. It's hard to keep it 100. Not everybody's built to handle the backlash that comes with that. So for certain people who don't want to be on this platform with me at the moment, I understand. You got relationships, you got your own business things going on. I don't want to mess your bag up.
That's all they care about.
You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. So it's like, if you don't want to ruin certain relationships, if you don't want to be around me because I'm saying certain things and that's gonna close certain doors for you because you're trying to get ahead, I understand that. But just remember, the door that you choose not to go through today might be closed when the next time you come around. So my door may be open today, but once you go,
nah, bro, I'm regulating everybody.
No, but what I'm saying is like, that's the thing. Like, the door may be open today,
and closed tomorrow.
It might be closed tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It might be closed tomorrow. So it's like, all I'm saying is sometimes you gotta choose wisely. Sometimes people choose sides based on what they're gonna get out of it. Sometimes people sides.
That's 98% of people. They choose. Listen, I don't give up promotions because I had to compromise certain things in other jobs, like before, the one I have now. And I have. I'm not doing that. And people look at me like I'm crazy. Oh, you gotta support your bro. At what cost?
Yeah, you gotta make sure you choose wisely. Choose wisely. That's all I'm saying. Choose wisely. Shout out to Bob Jones. Boogie was right because I had Black Giants fans calling me a victim for backing Flores on Twitter, and white folks love hiding behind them dudes. Oh yeah, the Uncle Toms. Oh, they don't want no smoke with me. That's why nobody.
You better be ready to fight. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? You gotta understand. My reputation precedes me. So 99% of the time, if somebody has that big of a disagreement with me, they won't step in. Because I ain't got time for Uncle Tom's because I call him to the carpet. Oh, we could. I love the.
Bro, nobody gets madder more than when you telling the truth about somebody and you talking to their face and you tell them who they really are. They get upset. Like when you tell somebody who they are.
Because you got black people out here, right? You got black people out here that can't wait for situations like this to happen so they can side with the white guys and hopefully get ahead.
Oh, you want?
That's what they do. They use situations like this so they can try and get ahead, and it's disgusting. There's a lot of black people in the world
because everything is always about me. They only Tiki Barber, but me. Like it's always me. Listen, you know how much I dislike Tiki Barber.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Giants theme team in Madden, and he's not even on it, and he's on the game.
Yeah, you had to kick that nigga off. Yeah.
like that's how much I dislike this person. Listen, one of my best friends in the world is white. You know what I'm saying? Like I've known him since I was 5 years old. Okay, and I'm not gonna put all his stuff out there, but he had people around him that were borderline racist. I'm talking about. I mean, it might have been family members, and he cut them off to be my friend. Cause that's not how he moves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the legal guardian. If something happens to him, I'm the legal guardian to his children. His children are white and Spanish, by the way. I'm the legal guardian to his kids. If something happens to him and his wife. Like,
I forgot about my Slurpee from Circle K. Oh my goodness! Shout out to my Slurpee.
That shit dead. That shit might be dead now. You know, like.
Oh no, it's still cold. It's still cold. Remember, I mixed mine with soda. Only a quarter of it is actually the red slushy.
Okay.
Most of this is soda.
Okay.
But real quick, my message to the Uncle Toms out there. I don't mind you siding with the white man behind closed doors to get ahead. But when you see a brother out,
don't do it in public.
A brother like me, yeah. When you see a brother like me out here preaching for the people so we can get something done, don't come for me. Don't come for me. If you're Uncle Tom, do it behind closed doors. Don't do it in public. Don't do that in public. I have no time. I have no time for them black men out here.
But you know what? I will say this. Most of them are pocket racists, like they afraid to bring, bro. When I'm telling you, they afraid to show who they really are because they know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, they them Jason Whitlocks. They black people who wish they was really white. They them Jason Whitlocks.
No, but what I'm saying is that, like, but if they really showed who they was, like, and the whole black community turned on, they don't want that. They want to be on both sides.
They want to play both sides. They want to be safe.
And if anybody knows anything, this is a world problem. You can't play both sides. You're gonna get caught at one side's gonna catch you. Mm-hmm. One side's gonna catch you.
You know what? And it's funny you say that, right, Boogie? Because Ash Money said he ain't making people choose. Remember, I cut him off immediately and said, I am. Oh no, I'm making you pick a side. You ain't gonna play both sides right here. Oh no, not with me. You either with the cause or you against it. You not gonna know. You got.
It was just like when Bree said all that stuff, right?
Oh yeah, the Drew Brees.
And Michael Thomas literally trashed him like 5 minutes later.
Shout out to Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara for going at Drew.
They stepped. Second, he came back to work like, "Oh, what you say, bro?"
Alvin Kamara called him an op. He tweeted op.
They on the same team with each other.
Nah, that's why. If y'all don't watch Snowfall, you're gonna get this meme. But he posted the GIF of Franklin looking at Andre like while he was leaving, and really what that means when Sean Payton retired, and what that really meant was like Andre was like this black cop. But he would always be the first one to arrest the black dudes. And Franklin was like this mastermind behind like the coke business back in the 90s. Yeah.
Without spoiling.
Yeah, you get the gist.
But that's what I'm saying.
Shout out to real quick, shout out to Will 8000. Remember, supporting Big Fish and supporting small businesses. I appreciate your contribution, Will. Will says, hey man, white guy here. I appreciate your message here. I just want you to know the good ones do stand with you. This stuff is messed up. I did like the Daboll hire, but only for offensive reasons. Oh no, I'm cool with that. I wasn't even mad.
I'm cool with the hire. I'm cool with the.
We're mad at the smear campaign that took place on Flores.
Yes,
we're not even mad at the Daboll hire. And my whole thing with the Giants is, as a Giants fan, right? I'm speaking strictly as a Giants fan. I understand you wanted Daboll as your coach, and I'm not even mad that the fix was in for Daboll. Could you at least do it right? Why are you leaking it to Belichick 4 or 5 days beforehand that he's gonna be the coach? Can you at least do it right?
This is the other thing. This is why people have the wrong people around them.
Yeah, like it just makes me uncomfortable because it's like that's bad. Belichick texts Brian Flores on the 24th. You didn't satisfy the Rooney Rule to the 28th.
So we
black cat coaches wasting their time.
Only thing we can hope for, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hopefully, this don't get resolved until after we draft and they take away a first round pick next year.
It won't get resolved. We'll probably lose a 2023 first round pick.
Yeah, we're
not gonna lose. It's not gonna be solved within the next 2 months.
And then we're gonna get fined like $10 million or some whatever.
Remember what they did to Belichick? The last time Belichick got caught cheating or something, they took away their first round. No, it was Deflategate.
Yeah,
Deflategate. They lost a first round pick and got $5 million.
Yeah,
they'll probably do something similar to that to John Mara. Shout out to Bob Jones. Bob Jones says Tiki Barber got that spot on the white radio station with his blonde wife, and he is black, and he blackface that delivers the white man message. Let's be honest. Now, Tiki Barber, we all know Tiki Barber's a crump, bro. We know he a scumbag. I haven't liked Tiki Barber since he divorced his wife when she was 9 months pregnant. Tiki Barber's a scumbag. Now Tiki a whole scumbag.
And then trash Eli, and then like 2 years later trying to defend him like he wasn't trashing Eli.
And check this out. Tiki Barber got a lot of nerve. That dude buried the Giants for a decade. Now he missed the Giants. Man,
yeah, exactly.
That dude hated everything about the Giants for a decade. Now he missed the Giants. Come on, bro. He was the Judas of the Giants. He was the Judas of the Giants fan base for a decade. Now he missed the Giants. Come on, bro. That dude hated everything about Eli. Said he retired because he didn't believe in Eli. Hated Coughlin. And then we won the Super Bowl the very next year. Come on, man. Enough with Tiki. I hate Tiki, bro. Tiki just.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about. That's like the one person that I just because he puts me in a bad mood.
Yeah, Tiki mad cringe, bro. Like, and it's just like now he missed the Giant. Now all of a sudden Tiki's missed the Giant
because it's what he's doing for a check. Keep pick and choosing when something matters. And I can't stand that picking and choosing when something matters. Like, bro, either we here or we here.
Nah, that's a fact.
And like that's what like. And if the Giants have to be a casualty and they have to be a bystander for the bigger picture, I'm all for it.
And we are because remember Brian Flores' main target is the Dolphins.
The Dolphins. He don't really and the Broncos because the Broncos did him. If John Elway really showed up like hungover, like an hour late to like that's just like
he is.
You already had it in your mind. You wasn't picking him no matter what.
Oh yeah, hands down. But the thing is. The Giants and Broncos are just casualties. We're innocent bystanders.
Yeah.
His main target is the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He's going hard at the Dolphins, and largely because they ruined his career. The Dolphins was leaking.
Bro, how you have two straight
all that false information about him for a month?
And the whole Deshaun Watson thing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even like. Listen, I'm sure
he had us thinking he wanted Deshaun, and this whole time he didn't even want Deshaun.
Well, I mean, like Deshaun is obviously a better quarterback than Tua right now.
But hold on, Boogie. Can we all talk about this for a second?
Yeah.
Nobody's talked about this for a second. The Miami Dolphins literally made it seem like they supported Tua and fired Brian Flores because they support Tua. Now it comes out these dudes were inviting Deshaun Watson to a yacht to have lunch with Brian Flores and the owner. And he got so. Let me ask you a question: when he fired Brian Flores because he didn't take the bribe money to tank games, the only reason they would want to tank games is get a better quarterback, right?
They wanted Burrow. They wanted. Didn't it come out? They wanted to tank for Burrow.
Yeah. So my whole thing is, you don't support Tua.
They offered like 3 first-round picks
to
trade up for Burrow.
Yeah, you never wanted Tua.
This is amazing to me that they're trying to paint Brian Flores as the one who hates Tua.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy Garoppolo was their quarterback next year, just because they're gonna, bro. The amount of when this is all said and done, they're gonna lose half their roster.
Oh, speaking of Jimmy G, he was supposed to go to Washington, which reminds me. I gotta upload my Washington firing range video. Let me go upload that. No, so let me go ahead.
Yeah, but like
the Washington Commanders. I'm sorry, they're not the football team anymore. They're the Commanders. The Washington Commanders.
Anyway, but it's like even now, right? Like you stand by Daniel Jones, but if we said we were trading for Deshaun Watson tomorrow, okay.
Oh, there'd be a lot of upset Giants fans because they didn't want him.
They don't
it's
want
in
him.
my comment section. I saw it in my comment section. They didn't want him.
Do you understand? That's probably why we didn't draft Patrick Mahomes. To be completely honest.
Yeah.
Because
why we passed on Haskins in the first place.
If you look at what Patrick Mahomes is doing in Kansas City, all that running around and being flashy and listen, the man been to 4 AFC championships. Like, regardless of what we think about him as a player, if he's good or bad, like, and his wife is very outspoken. His brother is everywhere. They are not Giants fans is not dealing with that every week.
And by the way, right?
They would have ate him alive.
And especially Jackson.
They wouldn't even care that he's winning. That's the problem.
But here's the thing too. I want to piggyback off what y'all talking about. I love Daniel Jones to death. He's my favorite Giant, right? He had no business getting drafted ahead of Dwayne Haskins.
Hell no.
No business. And I love Daniel Jones. He's my favorite player.
Based off of accomplishments in college, not
No
even
business.
close.
He had no business
He
getting
threw
drafted
50
before.
touchdowns. I'm not saying we should have went back.
And we're not defending Haskins.
No,
Haskins.
If you're talking
He's
about
trash.
from college to the NFL, Dwayne Haskins has a better resume than.
And that's and it's weird because remember on draft night with Dwayne Haskins, he kind of smirked and shook his head.
Yeah.
When they took Daniel Jones.
He was hot. He was hot.
He knew,
Yeah,
but he knew.
He knew. Haskins knew. And we're not defending Haskins. We know Haskins is trash.
Why
we're
is
not saying he's good. We're just saying in general.
But
the thought process.
This is 3 years later, but based off of what we've seen in college, he's a better quarterback.
Yeah, and like I said, remember, we're not talking. We're just talking about draft now. We're talking about the process that went into the draft.
If one of these white quarterbacks threw 50 touchdowns like Dwayne Haskins did, they would have called him the next Peyton Manning.
Remember the last one that did that? It was Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford threw 50 at Oklahoma and was the number 1 overall pick.
He would have.
That was trash. And we knew he was trash.
If Daniel Jones threw 50 touchdowns, he would have went over Kyler Murray. He would have went number 1.
Oh, by the way, Ash, now check this out. A lot of people just think I'm blowing hot air when I say this. Oh, Fisk is stupid. He defends Daniel Jones. If the Giants had the number 1 pick in 2019, right? You really think
Daniel Jones would still be a pick?
Still, exactly. You really think John Murray would have drafted Kyler Murray over Daniel Jones?
And John Murray were drafting Daniel Jones no matter what pick we had.
They wouldn't have took Kyler Murray. I want all Giants fans, all 200 something of y'all in my chat right now. I want y'all to understand something. If John Murray had the number 1 overall pick in 2019, he still would have took Daniel Jones over Kyler Murray. He was not drafted Kyler Murray.
And he'd have been high for it. He'd have been high for it.
Exactly. He wouldn't have done it. So it's like we weren't going to
get especially if we talk about
Haskins or nothing.
And especially if we talk about what a player has done. I can see if Daniel Jones was like Andrew Luck really wasn't that super accomplished in at Stanford. You know what I'm saying? He did some things, but RG3 won the Heisman. Daniel Jones wasn't even on nobody's radar. And all of a sudden, we have 14, and we took him at 6 because 4 teams are going to take. Ain't nobody was taking Daniel Jones, man, in the first round.
You know what's crazy, and I'm gonna be guilty. I was an Ohio State fan at the time, and I was much younger than what I am now. So and that's mentally too in the NFL. So I wanted Dwayne Haskins in 2019 as a quarterback. And
you should have wanted him based off what he was doing. He plays for a Power 5 school, and he's popping. What do you?
I want to ask the chat though. Before y'all continue, I want to ask the chat. Put a D in the chat for Danny. Put a K in the chat for Kyler. If John Mara had the number 1 pick in 2019, is he drafting Kyler or Daniel Jones? If John Mara had the number 1 pick in 2019. Who y'all think he drafted? Put a D for Danny, put a K for Kyler.
Hey, can I say this?
Not who's better, who he's going to draft. We're not talking about who's better. We're talking about who he's going to draft.
The player doesn't matter who's better. When it comes to some of these owners, they want people that's going to fall in line. It doesn't matter who's better. Some people don't care about winning championships.
Hey, yo, could you imagine John Mara drafted Kyler Murray and Kyler Murray was in that pink striped suit? Please. John Mara would have had a heart attack. You think John Mara would have drafted Kyler Murray when he saw Kyler Murray in that pink pinstripe suit he was in on draft night? Please. Yeah, right. It would have never happened, bro. John Mara was not taking no Kyler, man, please. Shout out to Jay Will, man. Same with Lamar coming out of college. Ain't no way he should have been the last quarterback picked in the first. Oh, that's another one. That dude Bill Polian talked about, so he need to be a wide receiver.
Bro, you understand that there's people at my job that be like, my bad, Lamar can't throw. I'm like, you can't lead the league in touchdowns and can't throw the ball.
You can say he's not the most accurate.
If you want to say he's not Aaron Rodgers or some accurate, fine. But don't
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
But Patrick Mahomes ain't that accurate. He do a lot of nonsense. He just got Tyreek Hill and Travis.
Well, and he got a cannon. That's why, his arm strength makes up for
a lot of these dudes. A lot of these dudes ain't the most accurate quarterbacks. Bro,
Yeah,
A-Rod is accurate. Drew Brees is accurate. You know what I'm
Peyton
saying?
Manning is accurate.
Like
Tom Brady's accurate because they don't got
this new
cannon
style.
arm.
These new style of quarterbacks, they just be letting stuff rip.
See, look, but even look at the chat. Even the chat, no. It was nothing but D's in the chat. Even the chat, no.
I seen a couple K's.
Why you
There's
think?
a couple K's, but it was primarily D's in the chat. They know. And look,
why you
Giant fans would
even-
have been mad, bro. They'd have been mad. They would have took Daniel Jones over Kyler Murray. Giants fans would have jumped off the roof.
They don't care about winning. They care. They want the things to stay in order.
Yeah, because even
Exactly.
yo, Jay Will, real quick, and because I want to get back to Lamar Jackson in a second, Jay Will. But the biggest Cowboy fan on the planet is Skip Bayless, and he's done like 3 books on Jerry Jones, right? Even Skip Bayless came out and said Jerry Jones would rather lose with a white coach than win with a black one. And that's from Skip Bayless, who's covered Jerry Jones, wrote 3 books on him, biggest Cowboy fan on the planet. Even he said that. Some of these owners, they want to win the way they want to win. They want the face of their organization to look a certain way.
Remember when the Clippers guy before? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just about like the quarterback thing. Giants fans, I see more and more Giants fans on Twitter talking about, the Malik Willis quarterback. Y'all really think you're going to draft Malik Willis?
He's trash, though.
No, but it's not even about that. We're just saying John Mara's not drafted.
No, he's not drafted. No. Bro, John Mara, Daniel Jones can go 6 and like 11 for the next 5 years. He would stay our quarterback. Unless there's like some new good quarterback coming out that we could actually get. That's white.
And on top of that, right? Damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. But Jay Will, my thing with Lamar Jackson is this. Lamar Jackson also, like, you gotta understand, man. The Ravens had to take him. He needed to go to a black front office. He needed to do that. That works in Baltimore. He needed to go to a black city, chocolate city out there in Washington / Baltimore stuff like that. That works. He works in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson ain't gonna work for the Giants. He ain't gonna work for the Minnesota Vikings or something like that.
Look at the Steelers. The Steelers are in Pittsburgh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a perfect fit. Lamar Jackson in Baltimore is a perfect fit.
If Lamar Jackson leaves Baltimore, he's going to another black city or black run office. He's not going to.
You're not gonna catch Lamar Jackson and playing for the Giants or something like that. Baltimore works for Lamar because Ravens fans would defend Lamar. Giants fans, if they had a black quarterback make a mistake, they kill him. He'd be uneducated. He'd be unfit for the job. Yo, please. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. But shout out to Slipback. My respect for Nick Wright went up today, bro. He said white America biggest fear is the NFL becoming an NBA, just like we said. I respect him for that. Yo, check this out, right?
Nick Wright is one of those white black people, though. He got a black wife.
Yeah, he got a whole black family.
Yeah, they're gonna crucify, bro. The white community is going to crucify him.
Nah, they don't accept him.
No,
they don't claim him,
especially because he got a black
wife with black children. They're not claiming him.
Nope,
they ain't claiming Nick Wright. And my thing with Nick Wright is, I don't like his Chiefs take, and I make fun of him for his Chiefs take.
Yeah, man. But listen,
Nick Wright got a whole black family. Shout out to him.
There's being somebody on TV and being like, this is who he is, and then there's being a human being. And when it comes down to being like a human being and doing them type of things, he's definitely like one of the people, especially like where he lived. I don't know if you ever heard a story where he used to live in Houston, and like his son had like an altercation. And he don't know how to handle. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a white dad with a black
son.
Yeah. A black son is like, I don't even know how to handle some of these things because I'm not this.
He didn't walk through with shoes.
Yeah, like
he didn't walk in the same shoes. Yeah, and it's hard for him to give certain speeches because he ain't walked through the same shoes.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's got to support his wife and his kids because
that's his family. Shout out to Mel Kiper. There's not enough Asian coaches and players. I'm mad. Here he go being sarcastic.
Bro, see,
here go Mel Kiper over here being sarcastic.
And the sad part about this too, knows the funny part. It's like, didn't they promoted like some female to like a coaching staff? Like she's like one of like the head coaches now, like one of like
she is a female referee. There is a female coach, but she's like a position coach or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. But she's like a head position coach. She's not like one of the ones that's like just like you're a coach, but like you don't matter.
Yeah, and shout out to her, by the way. I forgot her name, but I know you're talking about.
I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, let's get that equality out here.
That's the sad part about it, right? Like Becky Hammon couldn't get the Spurs job, right? But they made her the head coach of like one of the WNBA teams.
Yeah.
But yet, Popovich would go out of his way.
Tried. Greg Popovich tried.
He tried hard. He wouldn't coach games. It just let her coach the games.
Yeah, he tried, man. He did. Shout out to Greg Popovich. He a real one. Shout out to Prince Castro. That's because Baltimore is a black city. Exactly. It's a black city.
No, what I'm saying? And they not afraid to riot. Trust me.
And then on top of that, Lamar Jackson looks like the city. He represents the city. It works for them. A lot of these New Yorkers, I'm not sure they ready, bro. The Giants, even if we had Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun or Russell,
they ran every popular like.
I don't think Giants fans.
I hate to call out Saquon. I hate to call him. I'm not calling him out as a player or person. But I mean, like, he talks proper. He doesn't use a lot of slang. They accept him. They don't accept Tony.
They didn't accept Odell.
And they didn't accept Odell because Odell don't act like he don't.
Yeah, they not accepted Tony either. I know exactly what Boogie's trying to say. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
There's nothing wrong with talking proper. I'm just saying they're not going to accept somebody that acts like
it's too much of a black guy. He's way too much of a. Let's call it what it is. He a nigga. He ain't a black dude. He a nigga. Tony a nigga. Odell was a nigga. Yo, Saquon is a black guy. There's a difference. Saquon is a black guy. Odell and Tony was niggas. There's a difference. And let's call it what it is. All right, we're not even gonna sugarcoat it. Well, you know what I'm saying? Saquon is a black dude. Tony and OBJ was niggas. They not accepting niggas. It's as simple as that. Call it what it is. Shout out to Slipback.
I really tried to say that without saying that, but yes.
Yeah, there was just no other way to put it. It's just we had to put that in.
Because I talk very proper, but like doesn't mean the side of me that that.
Hey, could you imagine Lamar Jackson giving a press conference to the New York media? Please. Could you imagine that? Come on, man. Shout out to Slipback though. Mel Kiper, there are 2 Asians and 1,200 blacks in the NFL.
Bro, this is not...
Now he was Slipback. He was just trying to be smart, bro. He just trying to.
Yeah, he's trying.
He's trying to be smart.
People always try to make fun out of every situation. There's always 1 or 2 people that's going to try to make fun of something that sometimes everything ain't about being funny.
Yeah, because he disagrees. So he's trying to make light of the situation because he's trying to make a joke of the situation because he disagrees. Shout out to Slipback. I'm gonna say this too. This ain't a minority thing. The league is 70% black. The issues is about there are so many former black players and few head coaches. Oh my goodness. It's like Deuce Staley and the Eagles. I don't know I forgot who brought it up. I think it was Where You Hiding there. I think Where You Hiding said it. He was like, Deuce Staley ain't never get no love from the Eagles front office. They never tried to promote him to head coach. And Deuce Staley he was doing his thing. So it's like, that's another example of a former black player not getting a chance.
Also, keep it on.
Deion Sanders had to go to an HBCU. Prime time, greatest corner to ever live.
And check this out, right? And they are mad because he's recruiting top 5 players at positions.
They hot. Could you imagine Ray Lewis?
You saw that
dude Ray Lewis and these dudes? Huh?
That dude on that Twitter space went off when that receiver went to Jackson State instead of Florida State.
They're mad. They mad. Yo, shout out to Deion Sanders.
Bro, that's why I commend Nick Saban because Nick Saban's like, yo, I'm not talking about this, bro.
Oh, and it's funny. Speaking of Deion Sanders, right? Because Ash Money brought it up earlier. How Josh McCown get an interview with the Texans, but Deion Sanders got to go to an HBCU? I'll wait.
Like, what qualifies Josh McCown?
Really? When has he been a coach?
Never. Josh McCown just retired.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not even saying. Listen, I'm not going to go into that realm like that. What I'm going to say is that what qualifies him, regardless if you're black or white, to even
nothing
get an opportunity like over Deion.
He has no coaching
Jackson
experience.
State
None.
was ranked in the top 25 this year, I'm pretty sure, at one point.
But hold on, at least Joe Judge was a special teams coordinator for like a decade.
Yeah, that's what I'm
This
saying.
dude, Josh McCown, has no coaching experience
People
outside
are
of a
just-
high school team.
People are just hiring what they like. They're not hiring what is best for them.
Exactly. Ding, ding, ding,
The
ding,
biggest
ding.
problem with the coaching staff and all this stuff and the front offices are the owners.
No. Here's what I'm saying, y'all. No. Here's the thing. If an NFL team offered Deion Sanders a head coaching spot, he'd have took it. He went to the HBCU because he had to.
Well, because
How many NFL head coaching spots did Deion Sanders get interviewed for?
Listen, you got to get it out the mud.
Yeah, because he's black. You got to get out the mud. He can't be Josh McCown and just retire and get off his couch and get a head coaching job. I'm just saying, how many NFL head coaching vacancies did Deion Sanders interview for? I mean, yeah, no, I get what y'all saying. Deion Sanders is
Even Marvin Lewis, right? As trash as Marvin Lewis was in the playoffs, he was still going to the playoffs every year.
no,
You know as trash as he was. Same thing with Lovie Smith. The same thing with like we said. How do you get fired going to Super Bowls and winning records, but you got coaches that's out here losing every year and get fired and get hired? It's like
Same thing with like Josh McDaniels.
yo, even Jim
How the hell he
Harbaugh,
get a
right?
job? He failed
Yeah.
already.
Even Jim Harbaugh to an extent that he had to go back to college, like, and it's like, I'm a firm believer something.
Shad Khan, real quick, shout out to Robert McFall. Robert McFall says we did draft a black quarterback. He was out of Syracuse. Who?
McNabb was out of Syracuse. I don't know about anybody else.
No. What black quarterback did we draft out of Syracuse?
Yeah, but
What black quarterback did the
some
Giants draft out of Syracuse?
Probably some late round dude.
I know we had Josh Johnson for like a season. That's about it.
I don't remember no black. He must have been a black backup for like a year or two and got bounced up out of there. I ain't never heard of him.
It had to be like before like 2000, like before we had Eli. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know when it was because I'm like it couldn't have been in the Madden era because he'd have had like an 88 speed.
Yeah, we'd have been used to it.
There's no way. It couldn't have been in the Madden era. Because we would have, Boogie, here go the phone call. Ring, ring, ring. Boogie, yo, what up, Rick? Yo, you know we got this black backup quarterback on the bench like 88 speed, right? We would have been known.
Bro, do you understand that Madden players were using Pat White on the Dolphins? He was a 60 overall.
Facts, because he was fast.
Because he was fast. Like, we did not care. Listen, we cared about two stats in Madden for a quarterback: speed and throw power. Nothing else mattered.
The Raiders dudes are like Madden 10 and Madden 11. They was using Jamarcus Russell on the Raiders. They ain't even care, bro. Jamarcus Russell was throwing dots out there for people.
He was fast with a cannon.
Facts.
The reason why people didn't use the Saints, Drew Brees couldn't run and had no throw power.
No throw power. Zero. You talking about Joe? It was Joe. I don't know who it was, bro. This is sad. But look, man, at the end of the day,
Ryan Nassib is not.
Nah, he was white. Ryan Nassib was white.
Yeah, Ryan Nassib was white.
You know, look, man. When it's all said and done, the Giants might be in trouble. You know,
they're gonna be. It's just how much are they going to?
How bad is it going to get? Because the thing
and
is,
not for nothing, bro. Why would I even talk to Bill? Bill Belichick has been surrounded by controversy.
Daboll used to coach for Belichick. He's a Belichick coach.
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that why are we even like? You know what I'm saying? Like we shouldn't even be talking to Bill Belichick. That dude, like, great. He's a great coach, but he always got something going on around him.
Nah, that's facts. But John Merrill loves him, and by the way, he's the reason we hired Joe Judge. He called Belichick. Belichick gave his blessing. Yeah. He did the same thing with Brian Daboll because Brian Daboll used to coach with Belichick. He called Belichick. Belichick gave his blessing. Why else would Belichick already know about the hiring before Daboll does? Why else? He when he was texting Brian Daboll, he thought that was Brian Daboll.
Yeah, not Brian Flores.
You know what I'm saying? He personally called or texted him to let him know what was up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Slipback. Eli just gave a 30-minute interview on WFAN saying he knows the Giants and Flores were strong. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening to white dude from Mississippi. F out of here.
Yo, Eli got ties to the Giants right now. He still works with it.
Bro, why you think they're parading Eli around? I've never heard them use Eli like this before. They're parading Eli around to get good faith. I've never heard Eli speak out on none of this stuff since he retired from the Giants.
Eli didn't even speak about it in public.
Eli barely spoke about stuff in public. They're parading Eli around to gain good favor from the public. So they're gonna parade Eli around and let Eli Manning do interviews and say
he's gonna be a puppet.
What's up?
Also, what people gotta understand is this: like, as much Eli, unfortunately, you are a white person. Of course, you're not gonna see certain things because they didn't treat you that way. You know,
and like I said, he
sometimes
you can't because he don't understand. He don't understand.
That's what I'm saying, but you
walk in our shoes.
You can't talk about something that you didn't go through.
Same thing with Drew Brees. That's why they came for Drew Brees. You don't understand. That's why that Doug clown came at me on Twitter because I told him to stay in his lane. He got offended because I said he can't speak on he can't tell me how to speak on black issues. He got offended.
But like, even as a white person, right? You gotta at least like have some type. Where did you come from? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you speak about something if you grew up and you had like 9 bedrooms in your house? You can't be speaking about problems that you ain't never been through. You gotta at least go
on the poor man issues if you got like 9 bedrooms.
Like now, how I classify some of my white friends, I hate to say it like this, they struggle like black people. We live 2 doors down from each other. We grew up in the same project. You know, there's white people that grew up in projects and grew up poor too, and they get outed because they be the white people like Nick Wright that got a black wife.
Hold on, I got a question. To stay on topic real quick. How does Eli Manning know what the hiring process is? Was he in those interviews? How does he know? Oh, wait a minute. You know why? There was leaks in the building. The same way Bill Belichick knew.
There's definitely leaks in the building. There's a lot of leaks in the building.
So let me ask you a question. If I could nitpick Eli on a live stream, which I think a $1 million lawyer gonna do, if I could poke holes in that interview from a live stream, what you think a $1 million lawyer gonna do? Let that sink in.
It doesn't have to be a $1 million lawyer. It doesn't have to even be a $1 million lawyer. Anybody with a half a brain. It could be a legal aid that studied law.
Yeah.
For 2 years and be like, bro, I could torch him in a courtroom.
So right. So when they if Eli Manning was in court and they cross-examine Eli, right? Do you know what they're gonna ask him? So Eli, were you in the interview?
No.
He's gonna say, well, no. They're gonna say, well, Eli, how do you know about this? He's gonna say, well, people from within the organization. And you know what we're gonna say? So if you know about it, how are you assuming that Belichick didn't know? How can the Belichick text be fake? If Eli knows about it, why are the Belichick text fakes? Think about that. You mean to tell me Eli Manning would have more information on a Brian Daboll hire than Belichick when they're going to call Belichick for his recommendation from a player from his coaching staff? Come on, man. Eli Manning just made it worse because they're going to say, dang, man, if Eli Manning knew what was going on with the interviewing process and who was a strong candidate and who wasn't, how Belichick didn't know?
And this is why we preach, right? This is why we preach in every situation. When stop adding fuel to the fire, everybody just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Listen, we all black, right? We all black, right?
That's what Joe Shane did.
And a lot of people be in the hood and they be doing things. If you know something happened, what do? You turn your head. It is not your business. You don't say nothing. It's not your business. I think
Eli might have made the situation worse because how Eli know about it? He wasn't in them boardrooms. How Eli know about it? So the Giants got leaks. Shout out to Pandemonium. Fisk, I told you the NFL was fixed. You laughed. The owners get together year and bid on who will win the bowl. I don't think they bidded on that, but nah, these coaching hires.
As far as controlling what's in their building, they definitely are in on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
as far as paying players,
who's the face of their franchise,
controlling who's the face of their franchise,
controlling
how they're gonna pay players. Because remember, like, what was it, about 7-8 years ago? Remember Denver and the Cowboys are having this thing with Demaryius Thomas and Dez Bryant. Who gonna pay who first? How much we gonna give? How did they get the same exact contract?
Nah, but I think the NFL. I remember the Washington, the Cowboys. There was a couple teams that got like penalized for manipulating the cap or something like that. But the point is, the owners that got together and said, "Look, we're gonna manipulate this cat. We're gonna get these players now before we change these rules." It's
Yeah,
basically insider trading with the cat.
yeah.
I know the Cowboys and Washington were a couple of the teams that got popped for. This might have been like 8-9 years ago, but I do remember something like that going on.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Yeah,
man, go ahead.
I
Ed.
gotta I was just saying I gotta pop out. I gotta get ready for my stream at 5.
Word.
But I appreciate you having me on. Boogie, I appreciate talking to you. Y'all be safe.
All right, man. Be safe.
Be safe. So, but the thing is, just to point the conversation back at the Giants. Eli Manning talking about
And the sad, he doesn't even know he's making it worse because people are just trying to get him to get out there. Like Tiki Barber, all these people that are talking, they're trying to make the Giants like ownership.
Yeah, because all you're doing is validating Belichick text messages.
Yeah.
Because if y'all know, how he don't know if y'all know.
But Mara is trying to save face. Because the Mara family ain't gonna want to sell half their share of the team if things get worse. It's not gonna be that much worse for us, but there's definitely opportunity where they might, you know what? Let's sell you half of the team, man.
And yeah, it could. Shout out to Cactus Jack. Washington jerseys look like practice jerseys. Yeah, them the Washington Commanders. They sound like a G.I. Joe team. I ain't even gonna lie. It sounds like something you pick up at your local flag football team.
Go, Joe!
Word, yeah, man. Like, come on, bro. We're not taking Washington Commanders. We're not taking the
They're
Commanders.
trying to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, but they're not trying to win.
Yeah, word.
I know a lot of people like, he's been to 2 NFC championships. Bro, let's stop acting like he wasn't throwing for. If he was throwing for 350 and 3 touchdowns and they was getting there, yeah, sure. They beat the Packers throwing the ball 8 times. That had nothing to do with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, hail to the Commanders. So what it is, HTTC now? HTTC, hail to the Commanders, please. I can't. They're gonna be hashtagging that crap all day. HTTC, hail to the Commanders,
and
man,
they
whatever,
gonna
bro.
be hot.
You can't say hail anymore. That's an Indian thing. You don't hail a commander. You salute a commander. You don't hail a commander. Like, come on, bro. Ugh. Yeah, we heard about Hugh Jackson, man. Yo, Hugh Jackson might be out for blood because they did him dirty. See, Hugh Jackson might be out for blood. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Bro, Hugh Jackson drafted Baker Mayfield, and all they kept saying was that he didn't want Baker Mayfield, and he came out and was like, "Bro, I wanted him."
Oh yeah, they're bro.
Hugh Jackson was doing the traditional thing that most teams do, where they sit their quarterback for a year.
They try and buy themselves an extra year coaching by sitting a rookie. Yeah, they do that all the time.
Exactly.
And but like I said, just to put this back on the Giants. The Giants did not fulfill the Rooney Rule until the 28th. The Belichick texts were on the 24th. They're guilty. Whether they fulfill the rule a lot or not, that's not what the lawsuit says. The lawsuit says they abused the rule and they didn't do it in good faith. They can't deny it. Those Belichick texts happened on the 24th.
And I'm happy our new GM
rule to the 28th.
Yeah, and I'm happy our new GM, which is like, I'm not saying nothing. Like, yeah. I'm not in it. I'm not in it, bro. Like, I'm not in it. Like,
yeah, you take it up. No comment. Even though he is in it, he said no comment.
Yeah. But he knows. He definitely been around the block. He knows. So I'm just gonna shut up.
And the thing is with the Brian Daboll thing, I don't think they can't make us unhire him. They can't do that.
But not gonna make because you can't. Yeah, that's
too many of a trickle down effect. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna take draft picks. Yeah. It all depends on what draft pick we lose. Because nobody cares about the fine. We're definitely getting fined. Nobody cares about that. We care about how big is the draft pick. They took a first-round pick from the Patriots over Deflategate. They took a first-round pick. I want to know what they're going to do to the Giants over this Rooney Rule thing. I really want to know.
And can I clarify something? I'm a Giants fan first. I don't care who owns the team. As far as like, I'm not with the owner. I want the Giants to win games. Like, if Mara loses the team, if Steve loses the team, if they all lose the team, that wouldn't bother me. I'm still a Giants fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're speaking about bigger things than being a fan of a team. I think people forget that. Everybody, most people are fans of, like we said before, most people are fans of their team first and how their team, bro. Mahomes might not work. Kansas City is like a hoodish place. It's not like he's not going to work in some of these other organizations.
And the thing is just like I said, I'm just here trying to preach my message. I'm here to represent I'm here to represent, the message for my people, because nobody else is going to give it to you. Nobody else is going to give it to you. So I'm here to deliver this message for y'all and defend and be that. What I'm trying to say is I'm just giving you the message that nobody else will. Somebody got to say it. Somebody got to put the message out here. Somebody got to talk about it. And that's really what I'm here to do. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that we maxed out around 250 people today. I'm grateful that 250 people tuned in to hear my opinion on, black equality in this country.
Bro, all it takes is one person to see the one right person to see it for it to spread.
I'm happy, y'all, gave me opportunity to speak my mind and share my message, man. I'm really, 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 really grateful for that. White people, black people, Chinese people was in here. I'm happy everybody gave me a chance to speak my mind and cared about my opinion. I appreciate that. Nothing but love for y'all. I hands down have.
Hold on real quick. Fluid. Just so you know, just because they contacted, they have to have a guaranteed in-person interview according to the Rooney Rule. Like, you have to actually speak to them in person, not just contact them over the phone or stuff like that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all, man. I'm glad I had this platform, and I'm glad y'all want to hear my voice. I love having discussions like this. It's a shame we got to have these discussions under such unfortunate manner.
Okay, so can I say this too? We have to keep it up. We have to keep it up. We can't.
We ain't got no choice now, because this Flores thing ain't going nowhere.
I know we can't talk about it for 2 days and then let it die out. That's the other problem with communities. We talk about a problem, and like nobody's talking about Black Lives Matter no more like that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I said, this Flores situation ain't going nowhere no time soon. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. Buckle up. Shout out to Robert McPaul. Robert McPaul says, I stand corrected. Geno Smith was on the team and started for a few games, but I do totally agree with you. You on this subject.
Geno Smith was never going to be the face of the franchise.
Yeah. There was no way. Yeah. Geno Smith, and to be honest with you, we shouldn't even have started Geno Smith. When we benched Eli Manning, we should have put in Davis Webb. We shouldn't even, because we knew what
you're supposed to see what you have.
Yeah, we were supposed to put in the rookie. I think it was Davis Webb. We should have put in Davis Webb. We shouldn't even have put in. It was the Oakland game. I'm never gonna forget that. It was the Oakland game. We benched Eli for the Oakland game. We shouldn't even have done that. You know what I'm saying? We should have played Davis Webb. Yeah, so that was unfortunate. But all in all, y'all, spread the word. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can clip certain parts of my speeches out, whatever y'all want to do. You know what I'm saying? I never take down my content. So I'm always grateful for when y'all download and share my content, things of that nature. So shout out to y'all. I love y'all. Y'all be safe out here. You know what I'm saying? We about to bounce out. You need to plug anything, Boogie, while you in here before we dip?
Nah, I'm good for now, bro. I don't want to talk about it until it's actually in motion.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? A couple people that hit my DMs. So I gotta have some behind closed doors conversations with some people. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see how that goes, man. I gotta hit some. This will be on Bulletproof Giants. Yes, this will be in podcast platform. I will be uploading this on Bulletproof Giants. This will be in podcast audio form, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, I gotta go talk to some people behind closed doors. I think some people, I don't know, there might be some black folks who ain't happy with me right now.
They got their feelings hurt.
No, I gotta talk to some people, see what's going on. But yeah, man, we up out of here, man. Y'all be safe.